جاهزين؟ المعلق يكفي يا شيخ انه طيب في غيرها ادري. انا معنا. يلا 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 اعلان تصويت عيال، ترى ما اعطيناكم تصويت. اسمعوا يعطيكم تصويت سريعي تمام. سريع ابو كم ثانية الحق ما تلحق. يلا جي 2 نكشن يلا ابو دقيقتين بديت.
Yes, you're always going to be looking at Dambi, what he can do on the neon, things like that. Very impressive the way he creates space. But it's Ivy who has been leading the charge for them. He has been the one in those back lines, along with Francis, doing a really nice job of cleaning up those kills, being really sturdy. You know, and Ivy has always been mostly really good. Had a little bit of stumbles in stage 1 in Pacific, but right there, you can see why he was often top fragging for Nongshim.
I mean, not trying to be. I don't think I'm being revisionist here.
شوف التشكيلة عندنا دامبي
back to Santiago. Ivy was
نيون
one I had voted.
وعندنا كروس يلعب فينيكس وسوفا من فرانسيس وار بي وايفي يسعد ام التيم يلعبون فايبر هاربر. من هناك يلعبون نيون سوفا استرا جوجمو يلعب كايو جوجمو كايو ويسلم بي بي
As Leaf will be able to hold his own.
لا كايو كان بدولست يعني.
Bandit chance to get some more damage through. If he can click some heads, but it will be
ننشن الماب الأول من اختيار ننشن بريز. سانست.
هذا الماب. going to be carried over and a 2-0 start for Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, a couple little nice moments from G2 in this one. A little setup there to trap the player around the corner, use the snake bite, force them out, and getting that early kill onto Xross, keeping him kind of pinned in. Yeah, Francis, another player looking to do damage. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of really good players on Nongshim. They absolutely destroyed at a Masters, so this is one of the only team that took a map off them, though.
That is true. G2, one that made them bleed for the first time at that tournament. Forced them into an overtime as well to try to close out that series, but it was, of course, Nongshim coming away with a win in that upper semi-final. Meanwhile, drone is going to be sent forward. Francis spotting out Baby Bay.
They've gotten an idea that maybe this is a mid crunch because of that push up. You know, a lot of times if you're taking elbow control like that, you're trying to clear up mid too, but this is all quite an elaborate ruse.
He's playing the fake pretty well here for the team, and will find themselves a fairly open A site, so Plant can come in, but Nongshim are going to be very quickly re-wrapping around the back of this through that main as Ivy continues to explore a little bit further towards the attacker's spawn.
G2 سووا بلانت دايركت.
Now fully planted out. 4 players to try to hold the line. Spot of the one. Dambi setting up that relay bolt, trying to zone them back. Leaf, however, eyes just going to be turned over towards double doors.
مقفل خلاص.
Ball's going to be set up. Trent watching the rear, but now starting to pull off the angle, and that could be a critical missed timing. He does look back at the moment, still reading that this presence is going to be coming in, but Nongshim continue to scale forward, taking some space here on the site. Trent has to turn away for a brief little moment. The wall going to be falling, and immediately G2 able to find a plethora of kills. It's just going to be Ivy now. With an opportunity to get some damage here, but no.
كيف على قلبية ايفي ما ضيعها.
Surviving, still very healthy.
يلا ما عليه.
As that will be a bonus conversion denied.
فريق بس ايوه اكتسح بعد مو فاز. مسح 2-1.
A ton of spam damage early when the harbor wall comes up.
خليني واحد اغتم اياه على السريع يعني.
Even though okay you lose Baby Bay, but again when a Neon is normally doing that kind of play, it's meant to create a crunch at top mid to go into B Link. And it completely fools Nongshim, and they have to play a full-on retake. And G2 has that post plant on lock. The positioning's there, immaculate. Fire very good. A little bit of spam here, back and forth, as Nongshim is going to use a molly of their own to try to contest this orb, as Xross has been newly kind of anointed as the secondary duelist for Nongshim. You know, behind Dambi, who has been back on permanent Neon duty. Francis back onto initiators for this team. So a decision that kind of, I think, makes sense overall. Francis very flexible, very good no matter what you throw him on. But Xross, you want to get that firepower into play.
Yeah, and he's been very solid for him. One of the key reasons why they're able to make it to this tournament is Phoenix. Very powerful here within the qualifier, but May's going to be able to strike a little bit faster. Francis trades it back, but then gets traded out as Valen will come away with that second kill. So player advantage now in the hands of Nongshim. That operator going to be left on the floor as Dambi collects a Vandal. Try to utilize that for this retake.
Late lurk by Leaf.
Low scale across, looking for that stun. Jogamo does get caught by the relay bolt, going to be sent in as well. He finds the first, but cannot find the second. Trent with that shutdown. And as Ivy needing to find a little bit more there. Hunter's Fury will get baited out. They know RB now going to be contained into the corner. 8 HP to try to see if he can find maybe a additional little lick of damage, but ultimately it's going to be coming up shy of the mark, you would suspect. Tagging to the one, the spam going to be coming through, and Leaf, it's just going to be a matter of time as the Cove will fall, and so too shall RB. And G2 tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, just really solid macro ideas from G2 on this map. They've got some really neat, you know, kind of setups that they're running. We're seeing the late lurk from Leaf, as you would expect from this team. Well rehearsed, well drilled. Domby's been playing a lot of operator during his free time. I've been seeing him posting a lot of clips on his social media, but right there, can't connect with the shot, and that's pretty crucial. Could have made that retake a lot safer. Could have maybe avoided that danger of Leaf at the very end, but that extra layer for G2 because you couldn't claim some of those early kills.
Oh, they're looking to try to up the pace here, but obviously weaponry not going to be great for it, so just some spam shots out, no connections found.
But G2's been playing the beginning of the round the same way. Being patient, looking for those aggressive push-outs from Nongshim.
Speaking of which, 2 players down on this shop side. Footsteps being made. Valiant still able to get the weapon out, and Trent is there for some covering fire. Second layer now going to be spotted out as RB does manage to get a decent amount of damage across a collat on a Valiant and Trent. Downbeat with 1. Now with a second, and 2 Seps finishes off Leaf. Springs back into the A site, but it's Ivy here. Early damage suffered. Struck the Guardian over the side. Collects a Phantom. As the lurk forward into mid, this allows for Damby to continue to keep his eyes trained forward on A main.
اوكي دامبي بيقلت نكست عشان كذا اوكي.
Be able to scoop up a gun for Domby, but
والله دامبي ما هي صعبة عليه.
here, make it the 2v2. Definitely a real shot.
Going for it. Jogger was down to 5. A hell of a hit to be coming through, but Ivy now going to be taken down, and Domby has to do it all. The slow creep around the back for the moment, not going red. Swings in, finds the first, but Baby Bay very quick on the adjust. Has the shutdown, does not allow him to get anything more, and G2 will take the lead.
والله بيبي بي شغال والله صراحة.
In general, it's really just good game planning so far from G2. They've clearly kind of identified and read some of what Nongshim is going to be wanting to do on this map, and it shouldn't surprise anyone. They're going to want to be aggressive. They're going to take control of those orbs if possible to try to funnel them into Xros a little bit, as well as establish some presence on the map to set up and play their style of game. So it's kind of 2 things at once that G2's been able to deny from Nongshim so far once we've gotten to these rifle rounds. And they're on the move again. They're going to use the no command to thwart RB from throwing any more util into their face, but 3 big ultimates available for Nongshim. RB 1 away.
Deep scale forward. It's going to be Leaf not able to hold his own. Damage not even actually going to be registering there. Xros gets away scot-free, but RB still going to be pushed out of this A sites, and now a full take here by G2 and Valen. Playing forward in front of the wall. Downbeat going to still go sliding across, but trying to just use that wall against him, but ends up getting isolated, pushed back out by the relay bolt. The player advance going to be re-established for Nongshim as the run it back.
عازلين الدنيا مرة والأسترا ماخذين ديب كنترول قبل شوي تشوف.
I'm starting to bleed down, but Baby Bay going to be
العلم الحين هم حاشرينه والفايبر جاي. جوجمو إذا ذبح الفايبر راوند لهم. الفايبر إذا أخذ تايمينج العلم عند الفايت هناك.
The spot out. Trent just going to be suffering some damage. The face forward now all down to Jogamo. Swings the corner. Ivy has him out.
أول مرة الفايبر حلو إنه ما قدم فايت تيمه.
Bolster to the economy. Nongshim Red Force will tie it up 3-3.
يعني هم استعملوا فينيكس ألت. بالمقابل إن جوجمو ألت أسترا ألت وخسر راوند. اكسبنسيف راوند الجي 2 مرة خسارة. باقي عندهم 4 التيات الحين نقشم.
And get into those post plants quicker to find your flanks a little bit.
حلو منهم لعبوا
early advantage in the player department as well, which they're able to do by taking down
خلوا الهربر الحالة.
And then, even though the cosmic divide utilized here, maybe not anticipating that Nongshim would just keep swinging in towards Valen, leaving him all on his lonesome. G2 tries to fan out, tries to put players into individual positions to succeed, and this time around Nongshim able to win some of those battles. They're able to hang on to most of their ults. Just had Xros used in that previous one.
هربر كبر نفسه.
You got everything in the kitchen sink. As Nongshim
هربر لاعب الحالة حرفيا.
economy into the gutter. Jogamo just on a stinger in this one.
الIB ترى RB الأجل.
behind that.
هذه الاشياء يسويها فقط الله
After
يجل.
that previous round loss.
اعطاهم السايت عنده يلو الحين.
Very clean shot. Baby is able to find one. Next Ross going to be taken down as well.
والله لعبوها صح جي 2.
Stinger be damned. Don't even need it to get involved. The rest of the players with their rifles. Looking clean as all hell. Now, given that your other player is a world away, RB is calling for this save, so we'll just be backpedaling silently out of this site. G2 once again going to be establishing a lead for themselves, and they don't have to commit much of anything to this.
No, not at all. And probably just talking a little bit here is Nongshim about how they want to take that mid fight. I mean, just kind of going into the, the first one from Dambi, okay, you're going to let him try to make those moves where he's willing to just take a 1v1 on the slide. And, he's usually pretty good for it, or at least able to do some damage. But then the fact that G2 has layers behind it to cover the attempted re-aggression towards what Dambi started, and then it was just shut right down because G2, again, playing very cautious, very safe most of the time in the beginning of these rounds. And again, an immediate change up from G2 from what they saw in the previous round. They're a little bit more thoughtful early here. And then they get a big push out in towards mid quickly.
Still enough to get the buy going.
Yeah.
For ultimate.
ما في تبني شخصيات ما في فيتال.
See, G2 able to get into a post plan. That pit from Leaf could be them absolute fits.
لا قاعدين يفيكون سبلت تيلي جي 2 قاعد يغسل نفس الوال والدنيا والوال هذا يرفعه.
I think just spams with the wall. Maybe a pixel out of place there from Jogamo. Either way, he does get punished.
ترى والله معهم 4 التيات.
In favor of Nongshim as Ivy still looks to try to hold the line here on this B site.
شوف ما اتوقع بيستعجلون بيخلون الفايبر يقدم. إذا أخذ تايمينج بيرجعون جي 2 للبي.
Should feel like this is potentially going to be a B hit, so you have to call over a little bit of extra help. So RB was there, but
Ross has pulled off this angle though. Be able to try to get the early jump
في شات نايم.
these players in transition.
أنا أدخل الشات في يعني يرتاح نفسيا وينام. فهمت؟
Otherwise,
يروقون.
going to be leaving
لا مو بلازم تسولف قاعدين نشوف الجيم عادي بس امزح معه.
But he's already tucked way back. Doesn't want to try to fight at the point of attack. Going as the Sova, he could be, ripe to the picking from Baby Bay's overdrive if he were to pop it.
Spot out anything that he can, but they still managed to scale forward. There's a spot out.
شافهم.
Hunter's Fury available to try to just slow things down, and we will send this one out. A little bit off in that first pulse. Retap, just baiting out the charges.
سوى لهم ديلي محترم. الحين تو التاب يجي. باقي في هاربر، خاصة هاربر ألت ودامبي.
Next Ross trying to work his way forward, has to check this corner, swings in,
سلام
does
so
gorgeously as Leaf will fall, full flash connecting there, on balance, going deep enough. Now the overdrive is going to be popped as Baby Bay frantically backpedaling away, just trying to avoid all this util, but he will get overwhelmed. Nalin just able to find the one before getting taken down. Now it is all on the shoulders of Trent. A 1v4, and as that wall falls,
nice
retake. Francis will find it, and Nongshim will tie it up again.
Now you're seeing Nongshim be a little bit more disciplined, playing a little bit more cautious into the beginning of these rounds, giving up some of that space and looking to make some counter moves early. And the spam catches a player out. That kind of sets G2 scrambling to try to find the open space on the map. They do eventually, but you have that Hunter's Fury there to delay to set up for this retake. X-Ross, great job checking that corner. And then when Nongshim is kind of running and gunning together like that, hard to slow down their roll for sure.
أقصد بالأتاك يا جماعة بس إيش تقصد بالأتاك؟
Yeah, contestant towards B, Ivy.
Well, it might just be a fast hit, but
the pit
will go through. This ends up looking like a very good read from Nongshim, but also a big overcommitment. Ivy, he could have just backpedaled out of that one, held down the main, but instead pushes forward and just offers himself up on a silver platter. So now the pit gone. Plant will come through. RB very quickly.
Still عندنا في دام بيلت في دام بيلت.
Balls raised, overdrives exchanged on either side. Jump up over the top, and Baby Bay is going to be taken down. RB able to find two. Valen as well. Turning to the grave. While Bang shots in, Jogamo able to find him behind the box.
3v2 والله خلوها. دامبي مشكلة.
Tag down to 21, even with the overdrive. Does give him some balls as he tries to maybe go for these plays. Kerpal ends up going in a little bit too deep, but Dambi has a wraparound from the side. Jogamo struck down, and Trent now looking to try to play this one patiently. The Hunter's Fury available. Sends it out. Here's the push coming from Dambi. Stopping him from getting any additional charges in, and somehow survives. He's taking 14 additional damage. Keeps himself in the fight. Gets Nongshim back into the lead.
And this is one of these rounds that
اللهم امين ومن يسمع يا
Dambi
قلابي.
as a player because it's
الله
not just
يسعدكم
the
جميعا.
mechanical skill, it's not just the aim.
ان شاء الله
It's
لوز
the
يا
brain
اتش
here too.
ها.
He recognizes very quickly, you know, things are going bad over on the B site, so he throws up the wall, gets RB up on top there. He gets 2 kills. Then he's going to scale around, cover the site itself. Then he's going to rip his ult and make sure that when Trent has that
ليش انت يا اخي
hunter
حساس يا
he
اخي؟ كل ما
can't do
جبتها
anything
جبتها
with it.
غريق.
He's
يعني ما
very
لا ابث
aware
احسن.
immediately of where that Sova is
بس
and
تقول
what he's
وين
trying to
او لوز؟
accomplish.
انا قلت ان
And
شاء
is
الله
right there to
لوز.
shut it down. That is a really good round from your Neon.
يا اخي مصيبه.
I'll wait for confirmation, but this feels like a timeout. At least a pause of some kind.
وكيف غصبا ذا؟ متى؟ الو اتش خويك
What
جاء.
I was about to get into is this does feel like, yes, a moment for G2.
كيف
to
طلع
call a
كذا
timeout.
فجأة
Yes,
ده؟
the
ألو،
score is
سلم
incredibly close.
طيب.
They're only down by 1.
قل
But
مساء الخير.
Nongshim is starting away with
دوبي
this.
دوبي
You wanna be
على
having
طيب
as
دوبك
strong
جيت على
of an
مشكلة
attack
كي
as
ار
you
اكس.
possibly can. This is your side selection.
ستيب باي ستيب يا
Still
ابوي.
have this critical ult in the pit available. You're 2 charges away from
انا
having
دي ار اكس يا
both that
فيتال.
Cosmic Divide as well as the no
اللي
command
لحسن الحين
online.
ما تاهل.
The pivotal moments here for G2 that will really help determine whether or not they can rally back, close this half out with a lead of their own, or whether Nongshim will just run away with the rest.
Yeah, I makes a lot of sense that you need to be calling these timeouts even when it's close on this side of the map because
طيب.
attacker side very important because you know that Nongshim probably going to be doing a lot of damage to you once they flip.
شافوا
Dambi
دامبي
gives over
بدون
a
اي
ping off that
موجود.
recon.
فينيكس
Playing
بيفلاش
forward
دامبي
to slide,
سلايد.
and that curveball hits everyone!
مدروسة
Simplifying the 2 and suddenly it's just Leap left alive.
حط لك
Taps
ون
the door,
فلش
does get stunned
انزل
up.
لي زحلق
Back
لي.
around the corner fast enough, but now the Molly's going to be there.
رجع
at his
رجع
feet.
دامبي
Push
رجع
back into the open. The
رجع
curveball
دامبي رجع
again
معطى نيون من
connecting, and
اول.
what a call from Nongshim.
عطى نيون
Completely
من
shutting
اول.
down
جني ما
G2
دوق
inside
حزمك.
of
نايس
A-Main.
نايس ننكشن. ما بكم حقكم ما
That's one of
يروح.
those ones where Josh RT thought he had a good read on an idea and the Nongshim coaching staff knew what he maybe was going to think about going for. And this is spectacular.
And now I'm curious about the ping reveal that Dambi gave over. He was playing on the side of Pyramid, gets revealed there, and then slowly but still very quickly scales forward. So
Might have been intentional.
when you see Dambi that far
بيلعبون
back, you're not
بيلعبون
necessarily going to be
بيلعبون
ready for that just
سبلت الحين.
full barrel forward
That's true.
against you. So
That's
I
true.
والله
feel like
شفت
this
ترى
is an
معهم
elaborate
معهم 3 الت.
I think you're right.
اذا ما قلتوا الحين في الباي حقهم نكست بيكونون خرا. يا سلام قلتوا فيا كل ميد كنترول. دفيك ميد كنترول وراحوا ايمين كلهم. الحين فلانك بيجيك فلانك ملعون جدف. فينيكس عنده الت ريتيك. باقي كيو فايبر قلت. كيو بيقلت. ذكي جوجمو قلت الان كنسل فينيكس ما يقدر يقلت ما عنده ميوتل. بيسوي ديلي ملعون جدف. الفايت ايمين.
No command obviously very much hindering
طول
the
Ivy.
opportunities here for Nongshim. Zexros would love to commit this, run it back into this position, but cannot.
يلا الحين بدأ.
Now was able to do so
أسرع
as the ult
مصيبة.
does expire. Still
لازم
gonna be
يخش.
late on the push, the sprint through. Dambi gonna be caught at the end as Valen is able to find himself a second swap over the classic. It's a headshot on RB, but cannot finish the job. Pushes forward up into the
ريتيك
pit.
لهم
He
مرة.
will quickly fall.
خلاص
And
go
now
save,
it's
go
just
save, go
Zexros
save.
having to backpedal away,
Go
trying to
save,
hold
go
on to
save,
his
go
weapon.
save, go save. You can't, you
Maybe
can't,
he's
you
trying to play
can't.
this one in. Will lose his
جوجمو
life.
قلت ليف
Has to kill
قلت
the
استر
Joggernaut.
قلت لعبوا 3 الت وجابوا راوند.
Critical round for G2 to find after getting absolutely swatted in the
G2.
previous.
This is just a
Around that.
great mental battle
بما أن
between
فينيكس
RB and
قلت
Valen
من
right now.
عند
Valen this time able to
Function.
dial up some responses to kind of
ولا
the
قدروا يسوون شيء.
ideas that they had already seen previously.
حلوة منهم انهم فيكوا مد بريشر وسحبوا 2-3 ثم راحوا ايمين.
فهمت؟ And they know kind of what they're going to do. So it's a stall. Yes, you have the no command there as well, the Viper's Pit to make it a lot easier. But a lot of this comes down to the fact that you have so many
الحين
layers
في
with those
RB
volleys
عادي
with the
يشوف
grab
aggressive
well to
push
make sure
ايمين
that
مع
Nongshim has to press to try to get that retake.
اوه ديب كنترول نايس.
again.
منعوهم من الليل الان مرة.
I'll be sticking around for a little bit longer as the drone will be committed forward as well, interrupted by that 0 point in the end. Relay bolts is going to be exchanged and
طب
everybody
أسترابت
going their
فيكم
separate
استنوا
ways.
كل.
And in the end, it's just really Francis eating a bit of damage.
منعوهم والله.
Scathed on
منعوهم.
the side of G2.
لاحظ سوفا دروين وريفيل
Just a
Until that.
من عند ذا مع
but
الاورب
yeah, it
حق
didn't really
وستن
much happen.
علشان ياخذون كنترول ايمين.
Viper v
ايش
Viper,
سووا؟
but
جيتو
nothing gonna be coming
استعملوا
out of that
نايف
other than revealing each other's
ستارات استرا
position.
3
Now
او
Nongshim
2
re-clearing mid,
ودرون وشك ريفيل
trying
وشك
to make an aggressive
وستن
push.
بي
It's
كل
gonna be
هذا
weak
وفي
again,
الاخير ما
called
اخذوا
upon
اليمين الان توهم في
potentially to
اليمين.
try to square up against Dambi.
الان سوفا دروين
They're just gonna ooh, they're gonna slow.
I mean, Leaf has just destroyed them from this position. It feels like yes, he absolutely has. The second kill found. Downby the only one surviving.
3v3 هاربر مع الت العلم هنا كله مع الوال. هذا الريتيك. دبي يا زق. انت ترتيبك خاف الله. ما قصر.
Tag down the 6, but he's somehow got
them into the deep
position.
Into the deep.
The overdrive immediately going to be popped. There's that reckoning sent towards backside, but Trent plays out in front of that one, dodging it. Not going to be caught. Gets a shutdown onto the Neon. Double wrap around to this plant side. RB. Try to get the sun in case there's this second little flank coming through, but Valor and Trent just playing this one together. As RB is able to find the first, he finds his second. And somehow, some way,
يلا بنعطيكم اعلان هاف.
They managed to close out the round and lock up a 2-round lead at the half.
Yeah, the individual skill this time for Nongshim, gonna be getting him over the line. Adaptations from him and the team, but a tough map to go up against this Nongshim squad who has, especially when Domby's playing like that.
Yeah. Should be able to see maybe a bit more value as well from the KO, which we haven't really touched on too much here for Jogamo. It's still struggling to register that one in my mind that he's not the person playing Neon on the team at the moment. But the defensive setups for KO likely going to be a bit stronger. 0-point denial on those drones in particular, something that is great for a defender on the breeze.
في الديسكورد ان شاء الله بنشوفها سوا تمام. فاللي ما خش سيرفرنا يخش ان شاء الله بتحصلونها في ستيج بيطلع لكم اول ما تدخل السيرفر فوق على وقت احرصوا يا الاداره إدارة السيرفر لا تنسوا الإعلان. طيب إن بث المباراة الساعة 9 ممتاز. استراليا ومصر اليوم ضروري نشوفها سوا. الله يسعد. اقسم بالله يا ادارتي في السيرفر تحفه.
Recon as well was previously sent into A main after the 0-point scan. No one. Jogamo just continuing to peek off this corner.
يزيدون نقاط. قلت لهم ابو محمد قلت لهم بنرفعها. بقول لهم يرفعونها 5000. ازهل. جلوريا قولي لهم يرفعون نقاط التوقع 5000 لان التوقع صعب جدا. للشخص الواحد صح 5000 الا تسوى نبغى الناس تتفاعل.
Francis's life for the plant on the site. A trade that Nongshim will take every single day of the week, and now Baby Bay 2 shall fall.
خذوا البيستل نكشن good job.
Another pistol collected, now up 8-5.
ما ادري. سؤال حلو. جوابه عنده.
Put him in the hands of these guys, and they just go in there fearlessly. Click people's heads. That's just beautiful stuff in terms of, again, individual skill on display from Nongshim. This first one, I was so nervous here for Jog on those wide swings. I was like, oh man, if the timing here is wrong.
لا والله كلهم موجودين. بس يمكن انت تشوف جلوري لانها في البث. دائما متواجده ما شاء الله. ولا كلهم ما يقصرون الاداره. من جلوريا، من عمر، من العنود، من ASA الجديد. واللي سوينا السيرفر الله يبيض وجهه بحر. وعندنا ناس جديده خشوا. لا شغالين الشباب اقسم بالله. اللي ماسك المباريات وبثوثها الله يجزاه خير. وفي اداره جديده بس حنا اللي في الواجهه فتحسب ان حنا اللي نسوي. لا والله هم اللي قايمين كل شيء الله يسعدهم دنيا واخره.
Who will dispatch them with ease, turn to the side, trying to play anti-flash. Meanwhile, Ivy back over to the B.
أقول لك تكلم على عمر بس إيش عشان ما بقص. أقسم بالله اللي قاعد يسوي عمر عن 1000 شخص. والله.
And just as they're starting to get an idea,
اللي سواه واللي بيسويه.
You know, Francis there makes contact.
لا لأن حرام الواحد يقول كيف بعدين تقول لك شيء
armor damage. So he's able to kind of confidently continue to batter them back while he waits for the reinforcements.
راح راوند الحين نتكلم عن امور خارج الجيم.
You've got your two duelists right behind you.
الوحيد في البث مالك لواء.
With the Marshal.
أكثر دولة تابعني بعد السعودية مصر.
bonus that Nongshim's going to be bringing to bear.
Yeah, it's a ton of firepower
في اليوتيوب وفي البثوث.
Just that Marshal, but hell, we saw yesterday how much damage that can deal here on this very map.
In Francis's hands. As well. He is an excellent sniper, as we all know from.
نسيت يا محمد أقصد مش صحيح يا باشا.
Orb just going to be grabbed here, X-Ross. One past the halfway mark. That first run it back from this attacker's side.
G2 is very unsure about what's going on in the map.
مسوين بوز فريز جامد.
Wall able to get raised fast enough, and Ivy
اكسكيوت ملعون جدف. البونس راوند يا عمري يا دامبي. شيل علي واحد زيادة يا بطل. يا سلام يا ايفي اللي والله في جاب في المد عندكم يا جي 2. 4v2 كيف بتسوي؟ بتسيب بونس راوند ايفي ايش اللي عجبته؟ حتى القن حتى القن ليف وش بتنافس وش بتخلي؟ حتى لو ذبحت ما هم خسرانين شيء. انت بتجيب الراوند سيف قنك بس.
Yes, in the end, we'll have to try to make this call, but he is being matched. Ivy on the side already. Push forward past this wall, finds him at Nest, gets himself a 4K as Nongshim get up to double digits.
Ivy ياخذ أورب يقلت نكست وهم يكو يخليه الراوند اللي بعده. لو اني انا مكان نكشن الان اعطي ايفي احد القنات اللي ما لها داعي، سواء كان الجارديان ولا كان الاوتلو ولا كان هذا اذا كان بولدوغ اي قن زايد. اعطي ايفي واخليه يروح يلغك. حلو يلغك ويموت علشان يكون نكست الباي عند الت. بس كلهم رايفلز. اللعبه جيم سبلت فاست اي مو سبلت اي ولغك فايبر وهم ما زالوا لكن نيون قدم الحين نيون قدم.
No ults really in the realm of possibility unless Baby Bay goes absolutely crazy.
شايلين هم المدور الان. كل القرف اللي سواه ايفي راوند اللي راح خلى جي 2 يركز هنا. عادي يعطونهم اي ويلعبون ريتيك بس ما يبغون لغك من المد. وتاكدوا انه ما هي بي لان الفايبر مقدم. ليف
going to be running into a couple big ultimates in this next round, most likely, unless you can get this Thrifty to go.
And now you've got to run it back off that orb grab, so X-Ross can just pop that storm forward onto the side if they want, but it looks like they're starting to read that this might be a heavy A-side stack. Meanwhile, Ivy going to be spotted out, tucks back over towards Cannons.
يرجعون يكفرون الايفي.
X-Ross ready to tap the door.
شوف منين الهاربر رمى الوالي يا حبيبي والدرون جا والفيك مشى. يا سلام.
However, he's just going to be seeing bullets connecting into his face as Ivy quickly cleans him up.
Clean round flawless.
Again, these eco attempts here from G2, just not really holding any water.
Yeah, it's rough, to say the least. Let's see if Trent has some magic.
Well, it's got to be one of the scariest sounds in the world.
Yes.
Well, you know who's on the other side. Okay, we'll be able to sit him down tonight.
هاربر تقصد هاربر نكشن ليش يسمك هنا؟ هذا سؤالك ولا تتكلم عن الوال؟
Tap at the plant will just get past this one over to Francis, wanting to try to get his ult online. RB says, I'm a world away, so you get that plant, you take that fight,
أول خيار
I'll take the kill.
علشان ما يلعبون كروس. افرض انهم ايكو صح هم ايكو مو بفرض مو بكانوا ايكو هم حتى لو كانوا باي. بالعادة الاي كنترول لو معك كيو او ايا كان بعيدا عن الشخصيات يلعبون اي كنترول. طيب الديفندر فايش يسوون؟ يحطون ون واي هنا ويلعبون كروس، واحد يلعب هنا والثاني خويه يلعب دي، واحيانا يكون في ثالث هنا او هنا. حلو بس باختصار يلعبون كروس كذا مع بعض على ون واي. فانت لما تسمك هنا تمنع اللي مقدم برا، اللي مقدم هنا يلعب مع خويه كروس. فهمت؟ فتفايت اليمين على راحتك وتسمك هنا وتلعب كنترول.
Meanwhile, built up in the previous round, but never committed that.
إذا كنت تبغى تلعب سلو، لكن الحين هم فاست.
So we'll just take a pause in the action. We're grabbed here by Francis. Valen scaling forward. Will get slotted up into A lobby.
And Jagamo, even though he takes a bunch of damage, his knife there might have saved G2 a little bit potentially. As it did hit X-Ross, so he couldn't just get up there and rip the ult. And just kind of, you know, if you give up that A site in this round and they're able to get that pit into play, it feels like you're going to be on map point as G2, so a little bit to the cause there and forcing plan B out of Nongshim, I think kind of a win here. Nongshim though,
ما عندنا حل وسط حنا. انا اعلمكم خلوني جد اخليكم اطفال والله ما عندي.
With the snake bite.
It sends it onto the corner instead of on the main, then that still means the floodgates are opened up here for Nongshim. And Dambi going to eat quite a bit of damage on that entryway, but X-Ross into the backup side is still going to be able to find one before he gets snapped back by Trent, who does manage to find Dambi as well. And bolts remaining, but Ivy around the back does not check towards Pillar. Trent comes away with another one. Has been revealed. Meanwhile, RB finding Baby Bay. Jagamo going to be cleaning up the enemy harbor. Takes it into a 2v2, the health advantage. Still gonna be there, however, for Nongshim as
يا
Exos
إلهي
comes away with a 3K.
دمروهم.
But that is them now.
كانت فرصتهم الوحيدة في الرجوع. انتهى.
Oh, Trent, so close to being able to do something really special here for G2.
ايش رد على الرجال
He's one
متخاذل.
more kill away. He's able to slip the net. Trick Nongshim enough that they're not exactly
المباراة الساعة 9
positions here. He doesn't get identified.
يعرفون الشباب هم
So Ivy
جلوريا
comes through the
سليم هم
back
يعرفون
thinking
كل
that
شيء.
he's still backside or something like that. Instead, he's actually moved up towards the pillar. But X-Ross, phenomenal.
لا تحي رد على الرجال وخليك ملهواش.
Such a stellar young player. Think that he is a royal roader, comes in and immediately
رد على الرجال رد على الرجال بس
in tier 1
رد على الرجال.
goes up, wins a Masters. And that right there, folks, is why he is sharp as all hell.
تايم اوت.
Well, now the final timeout call to come through from G2.
رد على الرجال يا.
I have to suspect that a lot of this is just going to be trying to get prepared for that next map. Shake this one off, boys. Breeze is theirs. It's coming back from here. I mean, seen it from G2 in the past. I know the caliber of play that they are capable of, but at the moment, it's not really shining through.
ايش؟
No, I had a lot of hope after that first half that they were going to hang a little bit more here in the second half. I saw some good ideas, some good thoughts, some good counters, a little bit of anti-stratting in there.
And G2's kind of just playing the second half like AG played theirs.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to find a damn thing.
On that Lotus, yeah. Now it is all the money invested, of course, is G2 is some Guardians, a Bulldog.
ما حد.
Not what you want to see.
Well, Domby able to get that fast lane out fast enough as well as the relay. Bolt slides around. How is he still getting kills? Chocobo going to be taken down. Balance only able to find the one. X-Ross will get the trade up, and now it's a player advantage to the sights. Grab a Baby Bay. Okay, some spray and pray. The heavens will reward him with a kill. Plan will come in.
رجع خاف عليك وتصدق على الله رجع.
Find sound down Francis, but he's still able to backpedal away. This gets him now disconnected off the site with a Hunter's Fury of his own, but he's just going to miss this one from the outset. Overdrive invested from Baby Bay, trying to find a target. Tucks over to the side, slides in, and Ivy will sit him down. 7 health remaining. Sends out the pit to try to keep himself alive. The shock dart will be able to find that kill. Immediately as RB swinging the corner, takes the fight, takes Trent's life.
1v1.
It all comes down to a 1v1.
Ooh.
Damage going to be found. Leaf able to dodge it. The challenge here, Francis has the timing, 13-5. Nongshim takes us back to Breeze, and they take G2 to school. This was a one-sided affair.
This is incredible stuff from Nongshim.
يلا التشكيلة قدامكم. الماب سنست واخيرا. كيكو.
Nice. I love this comp for G2. I think Baby Bay on that chamber is where he's been so fantastic in America.
دوغ مونيون ودي ليش طارت في العجة يوم قال بيبي تشامبر. سكاي وهناك سوفا سيج سايفر 2 سنتينل with دامبي نيون. Good. Let's go.
This could be Sage versus Sage here.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be. It is locked. Extras also goes for the Sage, the battle there, and also for the side of the initiators. G2 has chosen Sky for this map. We were speaking about the Breach, of course. The Breach, we don't see it anymore. We have Francis playing on the Sova on the other side. Fade is also good. I want to see what the angle is and how that synergy Trent Jogamo is going to be working. And you know, I'm very excited for these compositions.
Yeah, very unique here by the squads. It is Sky and Chamber for the Initiator and Sentinel on the opposite side. It's going to be Sova and Cypher for Nongshim Red Force. Nongshim Red Force trying to put G2 to the sword and continue their international woes. G2 trying to force a full 6-game day and a potential reverse sweep here. Let's find out how it all shakes on out with our friends from the Pacific. It's Achilleos and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, Digon. Here we go. Obviously, Desk having a lot of fun, getting very jazzed up for G2's comp. I don't know how much I like it.
No.
Here.
I was right there with Fukuko. When I saw this, my exact thought was, oh my God, yes. There you go.
Well, that's probably the last bit of energy that he's going to have for the rest of his life. So it's been fun.
She's done me in.
We will put him 6 feet under after this broadcast. But, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how this goes. I was fully expecting that Extros stays with the Phoenix coming into this map. So for him to be pivoting over to the Sage, obviously we've seen the applications of this time and again. Yeah. Especially
يعطيك العافية من اللي اشترك عندي. الله يجزاك خير يا أنس.
How does this look for Extros? We will now find out. He's going to be alone in that early contact here on the A side of the map. Sets up the wall. Meanwhile, Francis, he's just stormed his way forward, and Baby on that chamber has been taken down. We're going to be hearing these rotations just tucked inside of the smoke for now. Recon obviously not going to be scouting him out from this position. A couple shots able to find some damage with the smoke now going to fall. And he's able to find himself a second. Francis coming away with that second elimination for himself. But the spike is planted.
That was a nice little tucked in position that he found. Make this retake much more difficult. Slowed it down a lot for Nongshim too. Space they have to clear. G2 going to double up on Exros.
Flash is ready, and Jogamo quick to collect, finds that headshot. Really Bolt immediately going to be sent back over towards the site. Dalby going to be stunned up there, but it's going to be Valen around the back, catching them completely off guard, finds the first, and now Dalby having to fight his way out of a corner, takes the first, looks for that second, can't quite connect on the trend. It would have been a one tap, but the time is going to be gone. He's just playing for kills from here. He won't be able to find anything more.
Almost.
Two players surviving. G2 will find their first pistol of this series and start off sunset 1-0.
Yeah, it's just so
ومحبة وعطاء.
that you're able to get that 2K. Use that smoke against your opponents. But they're not going to anticipate that you're in there. There was a little bit of spam consideration that caught Leaf. He was down to like 75 HP, yeah. And then so fast there with the turn too. Exactly what the doctor ordered for G2. And yeah, I do have some current concerns here for Nongshim. I think, you know, without a hard flash in this composition, I mean, all you're sitting with is the paranoia.
Which is why I thought that Phoenix was going to be here for them, but it's not. And Baby Bay, well, gets some revenge, takes out Francis first and foremost.
منين الليفل.
As they continue to try to scale forward and collapse in on this tiles position. And Trailblazer to check the corner, RB to clear that out. Swoops forward a bit closer here. Shortening that gap, but if he pushes back out in the mid, he will be absolutely screwed. Baby Bay just dialed in on this angle. Jump peek to try to get the spot. TP for a reposition. No, just a fake. Is Baby Bay now the one going to be falling into the trap? But no, I believe it's a no-scope to come away with that kill. RB now taken down, flushed out, and this is looking to be a potential flawless. Let's can find anything that he cannot. Flawless confirmed in the anti-eco. Valen gets 3.
Okay. Gonna really find out what this composition is made of for Nongshim going into this next one.
وادو
G2 able to take first blood and able to have a flawless anti-eco.
لا إله إلا الله.
Coming in quite well situated to maybe string together a bonus. Really start dominating on their map pick. So far it's
الله يعطيك العافية يا وادي كثر خيرك.
Outplays here and there. Baby Bay this time looking a lot more comfortable on that chamber.
الله يسعد الوجه. يرزقك أضعافها.
Understandably.
Yeah, he's pretty good at chamber.
يدو.
Fast lane forward, blind out on Extros, tucks around the corner of the relay as well as Francis tries to peel back some of this pressure, but Trent is right there to continue to trade it out. And G2 trade it up.
الله يهينك يا واد. شكرا لك.
3v2. Spike going to be planted to the wall. Dalby not quite going to get caught by that, but he cannot catch Leaf either. Takes him down to 8 HP, but just cannot seal the deal. Had the heal, and he's right back up to full.
الله يسعد الوجه.
Ivy now try to play this one out. G2 incredibly well slated to get this bonus conversion. It might just end up being back-to-back dominant maps, just flipping the teams around. The split might be nearer on the horizon than we anticipate. Ivy taking some damage, does manage to survive. Will quickly backpedal away, keeping his life intact, but this round no closer to going over to Nongshim. So G2 with a 3-0 start.
Well, and you're seeing already, I think, some of the layers that G2's composition is going to have over Nongshim on this attacker side. The deep flashes that you can set up with Trent to get your Neon into a position where they can bully up an agent like a Sage, where they're not really going to have much of a response if that wall has already been committed or isn't available in time to slow down the roll of Jogamo. And even though Francis gets the kill, G2, the rest of them are already starting to swing in, collect lives. So I think this is going to be a rocky road potentially for Nongshim unless they can start figuring some things out here pretty fast. They're going to add some extra layers towards the defense at A, but this time around G2 Wants to let Baby Bay and that Outlaw lead the charge back down to an eco. Our Nongshim, nobody is going to have that full armor. Only 2 players even have half. Ivy carries the Vandal over, but can't afford to
كنترول اللي
much else.
صراحة
Wants
عند
to save up for the
نونكشن
next round.
كويس.
Quick break of the segment, just leading the way here for that Trailblazer that will get
سلو في
cleared out.
محله صراحة. باقي ما عندهم رايفل والرايفل هنا في البي. هم يعرفون ذا الشيء، يعني أنا لو إني مكان جي 2 ما راح أبش. لأن الرايفل هنا. اسمعوا الكام حقت السايفر. في ترب.
Just go re-clear around mid.
فاللعب وين
We
بيكون؟
end up with a full crunch
مرحب ما أدعو
attempting
عليكم
towards
السلام ورحمة
market.
الله.
And they've got that trademark behind them, so they know that they can go up a little bit further through some of this space. Cam's going to see this, but Ivy
The
in
outs
trouble.
on Ivy. Do they check him? The answer for now is going to be no. He swings it. He's able to find one. His leaf will get taken down. He swings around and has the blind. Ivy is destroyed. 6 bullets, and he gets the ace. 1 Vandal's all they need. They kept it in the right hands.
رجل
Oh my word. I
قايل
thought he
لكم
was
الرايفل ذا لا
dead
يروح
to
ولا
rights there.
لا
But
تلعب
they
العب
just
السايت الثاني
don't
روح.
check the generator.
غامر بدا الشيء بس حرام والله ما شيكه النيون.
Absolutely absurd.
I mean, look at this.
النيون والا
Immediately they all
نكب
turn around, but he's
التيم والله.
pivoting so fast. And
لو
then
سوى
Valen kind of
الوال
walks in front of Trent as he's
مع
trying to
الدخله
line up his
للسايت
shot.
مو من عند
Baby Bay
اللهم صل على محمد نسيت اسمه.
Was the one in that
كانوا
core
فرقت.
trying to create that
يلا.
extra angle and didn't matter. There was no
ايوه
extra angle to
النيون
create.
نكب
He just
التيم.
uses the fast lane completely against them.
Yeah.
Tucked into that. Jogamo sets it up. He's on the opposite side. And there's no way to check him from there.
دامبي
Zombie now.
Oh.
Quick peek out. Backs away. The
سبق
Jogamo.
له
Very quick for
جوجو.
that punish. Slides
تريد
forward. Finds that. Plants his feet. And
تريد
gets a
والله
second.
سواه.
Right back into this RG2. Not wanting that momentum to get built up by Nongshim. The heal, of course, in effect. Francis now playing ring around the rosy here with the Trailblazer.
لا
Tries to
ولا
hit the
تبي
dragon cross, but
ارحم
Jogamo now on for an ace of his own.
ولا تبي ادري انه هيل بس.
You can find these players, both
ما
of them
جاب
stuck
bullet
here behind the
point.
sage walled back site.
والله باقي النيون مزعجه
Even though they see that,
مزعجه النيون
should just
لكن اخف
be
من
a
قبل
call
الحمد
to
لله
save in the end.
لكن
You would
ستيل
suspect for
بلايبل
Nongshim.
وقويه في المابات اللي تصلح لها.
Leaning up the
زي
wall, which is
ماب
by too
سانست
much
صراحه
time
نيون
off
من
of
افضل
this clock
الدور
and the
ستيل هنا.
spike plant. So we'll just try to slowly work their way out of this.
ويلي كويسه
As
ريزو
the guiding
كويسه
light confirms that street is clear.
بس اشوف نيون الافضل
Question really becomes how
في
much
ماب
does G2 want to go on the hunt
في المابات اللي
here,
زي
trying to
سانست.
take these weapons out of hand.
عندك سبلت
Well,
بيرل.
with the operator and a couple players being pretty low on credits, probably not too
انا
eager.
افضل نيون في المابات
Maybe they
اللي
could send one out. Trent, maybe, but they're not going to do it. So I think you got to rip a timeout here as Nongshim, and you got
اللي
to
فيها
talk
روتيت عالي بس فيها
right here,
دخلات
right now about how the
مداخلها
protocols
ضيقه زي
for
المابات اللي
slowing
تصلح
down
الريز
G2
اشوف تصلح
at the
النيون.
chokes, especially at A,
يعني يوم
are
ممكن
going to be
تعطيك في
dealt
الماب
with
افضل
because
من
you don't
الريز.
have answers to it right now. Frankly, part of that again is going to be the composition that you're running here.
الفرق انه اذا
You
كان
don't
الماب
have a
فيه
hard
هاي
flash
ولو
to try to
الريز
slow this
يناسب زي
down.
بايند
If you
وسبلت.
don't have,
فهمت؟
your neon able to react properly against theirs, then you're going to have real problems if the Cypher
عشان استعمال
util isn't
الساتشل
there at the
بس.
front of the site as well. There's no ability for Nongshim to really have a counterpunch. They have to rely a lot on their individual skill, and that's tough against a player of Jog's caliber on a neon. He is very, very good, as we just saw in that previous round. And
بريز يصلح بس.
on Breeze, we were kind of scratching our heads a bit that he
بريز
isn't on the
يصلح.
neon.
لا لا
TP into the spawn now.
العين
Valen
الشخصيه تصلح لك في اي اضافه.
looking for a backstab, and we'll just be able to join in.
وين راح
But alongside
وين
Jogamo,
راح
he's gonna
وين
hound out Ivy, but
راح.
Ivy's still managing.
حلوه
Finds the
حلوه.
second kill. That is critical value being put up by the Cypher yet again. Give them a very advantageous position. The drone now to lead forward. X-Ross.
لا ماني مسوي معهم ماني
Actually
مسوي.
able to find him. Flash is connecting. Trent able to find just the one kill. Looking for that second, but will quickly be overwhelmed as Nongshim rally back for another round win.
Well, I guess all that you really need to do now as G2 is just avoid Ivy. He's the only one that's been able to shut you down at all. Some individual brilliance. Oh, he even gets dinked there by Jog through the wall, but
اي بس كيف اسوي ما اعرف
able
هذا.
to instantly reset.
اسوي نوك
Fine
لهم
too.
تقصد؟ ما في
So Ivy locked in. We need a
نقفل.
little bit of help from the rest of Nongshim. Got some huge ults on both sides of the coin. Baby gonna have that tour de force. Seekers res for Leaf. Ivy has his neural theft, as well as Francis's Hunter's Fury. RB here. Paranoia at the ready. So
اضغط على كوسترين معهم.
Seems to be that this is one of their answers. Just try to slow down the Neon on the other side. But it is just the Paranoia that connects here.
On to everyone, but not going to be too dissuaded by that. Continue to work their way forward.
Okay.
Spam shots out. We're going to be about 3 charges, I think, remaining in that tour de force as well.
ثانك يو وادو. ايش اسوي بس يبين اني انا بث معهم يعني. اوكي.
Street side.
الا اني انا ماخذ الاكسس وماخذ الكوسترين بس ما نعرف اسوي. شفت كيف طلع سهل.
Spotting out plenty as well. Hunter's Fury now going to be sent through. Just look at the try to gum things up here on this approach. Downby with the operator still going to be able to find one. Pajaro gets the second Downby. Doubling up.
ايوه. دامبي خشمك تدري فين اعلمك بعد البث. خليك في الضعف اعطلك طلقه ثانيه راح بسلايد على 3 خشمه هناك لو ما عجبت كان ابغى بس ما مع الدوام.
His location is known and he cannot find Balan. Holds his zone.
وين دامبي فين العلم؟ شغل الاودن والجو والله لو يلعب جد يقدر والله.
Yeah, this is just really tough for Nongshim. This round has got to be kind of a gut punch because you actually read this decently well. You're able to use some of that util, find some answers to at least force G2 to take a pause. And you're going to get basically the whole team over here, but you just can't take them in the fight. You're just getting beat. Some of the 1v1s, Jogamo has the ultimate. He's able to rip a couple players away. So G2, love this comp. Love the way that they're piloting it. It creates so much pressure. This time, Nongshim looking again to maybe set up that paranoia trap outside of A, but
الوال ما زال مسوي شغله صراحة.
Previous round where damn near all of them got hit by it. Just will get a bit of confirmation that there's players in mid, but you know, doesn't want to mess around.
التو سنتينل هنا أفضل من التو سموك صراحة. متى فايبر مو نشين بس. فايبر صراحة يلعبونها الناس مريحة وجامدة كويسة ما اختلفنا بس أحس الفاليو حق فايبر كل ما له يطيح للأمانة عكس قبل بدون الناس يستوعبون المتى أكثر يخشون يجربون أشياء أفضل فهمت الخيارات تتغير خلاص الناس تعودوا على فايبر وفايبر ما تقول بسم الله إلا الوال قطاح لكن الفاليو حقه قوي وستيل أوبي.
Trying to get pivoted into the right position, but the spike now starting to get ushered over towards A.
Yeah, I mean now G2 is kind of realizing
that ما لعبوا 3 سنتينل فيتال.
He gave away
عليك بدل الجيم فيتال ركز لي على نونكشن على دامبي النيون المجنون شبه اللي تحت على اليسار.
Ivy again finds one.
Able to find it just before that flash connects. Quick peek in from RB, but there's the backstab. Leaf scaling forward up through mid. That will end up getting surrounded and overwhelmed, but same can be said for Ivy as Baby going to be behind that kill, but it's going to be found to the rescue.
طلع من التير 2 وبلا خسارة وتأهل وبلا خسارة من الريجن بالسفك ها كوريا تيم كوري ولعب الماسترز الأول وجابها من دون ولا خسارة أما خاب ظني يمكن إيه بعد الماسترز اللي راح ما رفع فيها ما قدر يتأهل والحين هو في EWC.
Alan could just be there undoing again, but no, X-Ross a little bit faster on the draw. On that kill with Baby catching RB in transit mid TP.
2v2.
Back into this 2v2 and Baby Bay still looking for a little bit more. Turns to the side, but the shot is just a hair off.
Time.
Cannot connect with it. Refuse to come in. Nongshim
3 ثواني. فاصل 10.
Way back into this map.
This one just gets a little bit scrappy. Kind of some of these weird situations where I feel like one team has the macro advantage and then can't convert the round. You know, a couple rounds ago, it was, I think, you know, Nongshim making the good read, getting all 5 of their players to try to counter the execute, and they can't. In this round, G2 actually works the map really nicely. They're in a position where they get a decently early plant, and they're making it tough for Nongshim, but they're able to find some big kills. On the way through, G2 tries to push out, tries to gain a little extra footing to hold their ground and can't do so.
RB, quick shot. He's able to find one, but Jogamo immediately has that trade, and he's out checking the corner. Rez is there. Does keep this back into 4 players. Just wall them into Ali. G2 immediately having to pivot now. Back across into mid, re-clear this space, and potentially strike onto the B site.
Yeah, there's the camera here, though. With that early warning network already installed for Nongshim. But G2 kind of aware of it, of the likely position. A lot of cameras are going to be either where it is or just in the corner right around next to them by the orb. They're just taking their sweet time. Yeah, you're going to see Trent, though. That immediately brings out the slow. A little bit of damage done to Leap. Again, you're buying a lot of time here.
Nothing that he can't shrug off, though, but now, at this point, you're going to be very committed into this site. 3 players here. The backstab ready to be inactive. Francis is on that flank, and the door is just being held, and at this point, I think the round is just going to be over. Dambi 1 by 1. Trent eventually able to find the 1 kill, but now has to try to just retain this operator. He's going to be ping revealed. It's Francis frantically trying to flush him out, and the shorty's not going to be doing a damn thing. Nongshim will be able to find themselves 2 consecutive round wins as they're now 1 away from tying it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, Nongshim is starting to find answers where they're able to send some trickery early, set up some different formations at this A choke to make it a lot more difficult. You know, RB just swings out with the Guardian, and then they're going to tuck a player in to the corner, and again, not check, causes huge problems. Losing that Neon with the way G2's been playing so far here on Sunset, really, really painful for them to try to get into a site, because then Nongshim can really plant their feet. They don't have to worry about that player running past them. That operator so much more effective. Look at this. 2 players up mid.
Again, going for this TP, but it's the same position.
لا يا شيخ ما عاد لها طعم
It's a Sova with an operator.
Nice, Francis.
Of course, Francis to the side. Gonna be good for the kill. Jogamo sliding forward, able to find the one with the Stinger. Valen with that backstab off the TP, still gonna come away with value as Francis gets blinded up here at Alley, but Trent still not gonna feel comfortable enough to try to flush him out. Just has abandoned in hand. So he needs some assistance. As oh my god, he almost has the collat, but no, Jogamo is a bit faster. Finds that kill. Valen survives. Next Ross trying to wall them out, but Zol trying to play in Ivy. Heals going through. Finds the first. Can't quite find the second. Trent again with the operator. Able to find a bit of value. And now it is all down to X-Ross. Try to come away with these 2 kills to try to get this clutch. Jump up over top of the box. And Jogamo is ready for it. Has the 3K, and G2 have a thrifty to get up to 6.
Oh, man. I mean, just sending that TP through where there was just no good response from Nongshim because they're busy worrying about the 2 players that have pushed right up mid. So there's no real ability to clear these backlines. You just got to try to hold on to the ground that you have. And that's exactly what G2 wants. Beautiful stuff from Jogamo there in this round. Getting those early kills, creating that space, finding the 3K in the end. Huge stuff. Nice idea from Valen with that TP. It really threw Nongshim for a loop. This time around, Dog goes past that trip, so that's kind of curious. Where exactly, how high is that trip? There. It did get cleared, or pulled back, one of the 2.
Swing in and Leaf is going to get caught. Big mid exploration there from Nongshim.
مزلبين الميد مرة G2.
Finding some value.
وهذه ضريبة انك تسلم الميد. المفروض ان في احد يلعب تايلز. وين القلم؟ المفروض ان في احد تايلز، يعني يكون فينا واحد ويطلعون من التايل وواحد يلعب هنا. واحد كافي بي، سكاي كافي بي.
They're not really paying this consideration.
أو سكاي يجي من هنا يدوق.
Oh, he pops out a little too early.
And Baby Bay can't quite collect that kill. RP very fortunate to still be in this fight. Zombie spotting out the enemy Neon, slides his way back over to Market. Just going to be shutting that door for now. RB continuing to stay sat here, but looks like G2 are incredibly suspicious of this.
That smoke's weird.
And it has fallen. So too shall RB. Just not going to be dialed in for that headshot to instantly get the kill on Jogamo. Now the Seeker's going to be let loose. 25 seconds remaining, so they have to push forward onto the site. Downbeat here to try to slow them up as the relay pull goes in. Trent going to be stunned. Flash out into Downbeat's face.
هذا يدري عنه. الفايت اللي هنا
يحدد. Away. Ends up making a little bit of noise, and Baby Bay will be able to find him. Shot connecting. Francis only going to be good for the 1. 10 seconds now left in this round. The swing out. Extra. Eating some damage. Cannot find those kills, and with just barely a second to spare, the plant can come in, and Ivy manages it. is walking on water this series as Ivy bails them out and gets Nongshim a 5th round win.
This would be a 9-2 scoreboard right now if it wasn't for Ivy. That is absolutely disgusting. Goodness.
يا عمي تيمي.
I mean, I think
فريقي المفضل بعد ديركس.
Kind of both teams' directions at one point or another.
خلاص بدل ديركس تي 1 ديركس ننكشن بعدين تي 1.
Good God.
اي شيء كوري فنان يطرب.
My God.
والله يا ولد يا ولد يمين بالله. اي عوض يا بطل عوض. انا ما اشجع الكوريين. والله احب يا اخي لعبوا في الاي سبورت. يا عمي دامبي تركت الجد ورحت لوب. وشاف شيء احنا ما شفناه.
Trying to scare them back over into the arms of Ivy. Alone on the B site.
اخي لعبهم جميل يفتح النفس. مؤدبين وطرب ويلعب لك لعب اجرو. انا احب ستايل اجرو مره. احب الاجرو. ما احب اللي يحكها. اجرو حكها في وقت يعني تستانس.
That top mid space, Xros. Ooh, that would have been a good wall. There you go.
Sends it now. Still that gap in the back by the look of it. And yep, we'll just be the double push forward.
بيمشونه.
That might even be able to play in front of this one. Ivy's going to be taken down. The sort of force of Baby is able to find that kill. Dambi now isolated, zoned away, just trying to find anything that he can with that shorty over the wall. Ends up coming away empty-handed as pop flash to turn down. Still is able to find one kill as Valen will get taken down. G2 looking pretty firmly in control now as Francis will also fall. Dambi and RB in a 2v3 to try to clutch this one out.
يا 6-6 يا 7-5.
Rendezvous situated. The shot goes wide. RB taken down on the approach and Dambi just can't quite make these op shots connect. Clears the dog, wants to try to slide in with that shotgun. Will be able to find the one, but Leap is there for the counter.
يلا 7-5 بنعطيكم اعلان هاف.
Will get themselves out into a lead. 7-5 here at the half.
Yeah, it's a great mid-round decision by G2 to swing up too much on Dambi, which is hard to imagine.
Baby Bay out in the mid will be able to get some damage. Francis is going to be tagged to 45.
But it's healed. So not the end of the world there.
CD out early. Trademark situated on B main. Baby Bay can quick pivot around. He's playing the 10 spot at the moment.
Yeah, they've created a lot of attention towards mid, so Ivy's in a world of trouble if he swings too wide here.
Oh, he's going to be completely overwhelmed. Unable to find even really any significant damage. Shield's still going to be burned, but Dambi sliding forward will be able to at least trade it back as Baby Bay does get taken out of the equation. But again, that heal burned early means that Dambi's going to be stuck at 45. And Leaf is able to find Francis to boot. So now player advantage in the hands of G2. Flash not going to be connecting here. Dambi able to find one. The heals quickly come in from Trent. Side forward space getting taken. Dambi now pushed back to 100. RB just on the other side of this smoke, but it's going to be Jogamo finding Dambi through it, cleaning him up. The push coming in. RB looking for a little bit more, but Trent's got the classic drawn out. The right click is there, and G2 will take both pistols on Sunset to move up 8-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing that Nongshim's still a little uncomfortable on this map, and in particular, I'm thinking about two fights that happened. It's Ivy in mid, who's kind of swinging to get info, and by the time he swung so wide, it's too late because there's 3 G2 players that have been hitting their presence up at top mid. And then the other problem is when they get onto the site, Francis kind of doesn't really process that there were 3 players up there earlier, goes for the swing himself around the backside of B, and then just gets cut down by the firing squad of G2. So just some kind of individual mistakes that cost you a lot in a pistol round.
Well, there's a bucky in hand for Dami, but there is a judge in hand for Jogamo. Baby Bay again is able to find Francis here in main, as Xros will be able to come away with 2 quick kills. The bucky in hand for now. Trent slowly slipping back towards B. Try to join in alongside Baby Bay, but Nongshim Red Force going to look to explore elsewhere as the judge will just get dumped off the side of the map. So back to the pistols here are Xros and Ivy. Already decent damage. You see the investment here just in the cash from G2. And if they can find any more, this is going to be still a very good Thrifty attempt, if not the Thrifty itself. But Leaf playing forward, potentially unexpected in this position, as the wall going to have to be waited out. Will now break, swing in the corner, and Leaf's got them both outdone. So 2 casualties. They end up saving it quite a bit, so 3 players keep their weapons over into the bonus.
Yeah, that's totally fine for G2. You come out of that relatively okay. Yeah, you lose a couple guns, but whatever. I don't think anybody else even took armor damage. So that's a pretty healthy bonus that you're going to be situated with. Leaf even going to go for the judge. Carry those 2 Spectres in the Outlaw over, and 2 players on Nongshim aren't even going to be able to afford the full armor. That's one of them's Dombi. So a Baby Bay can hit a banger on an entry maybe, but right now not going to be given the opportunity and just shuts down RB.
Oh, well, Francis does hit the shot before he can rendezvous at the safety. Dogamo just going to be looking to try to hold this market door down. Meanwhile, Francis has found another Valid dead atop of mid, and Dombi just quickly slides in, takes Trent's life as well. Revenge for their fallen IGL. As Leaf will be able to hit a very nice shot, but quickly has to backpedal away. It's just that judge in hand. Will grab the orb. Guarantees that he'll have the res going into the next round. This would take some serious work, though. Try to get a clutch materialized from this position.
Well, given a chance, they're just trying to figure out where the hell he went, and I think Ivy's finally kind of pieced it together. Must be holding somewhere in the vicinity of spawn or something.
Giving him some weapon opportunities available. They'll be able to hear this for the most part. Trent had died just around this corner. Regardless, looks like Leaf is just going to try to play this one for exits. Question is, does Ivy give it to him? The answer is no, but Francis will. Swings in. It's a very nice headshot from him, but got not to be carried over. It's just a judge, so nothing to really get stressed about here for G2. Nongshim Red Force still eating quite a bit of damage to try to get this anti-bonus over the line.
Yeah, exactly. Again, having those half armor is something that hurt them even in the previous half. Think of that Outlaw being able to be carried over into round 3. Finds that kill, finds that extra little bit of damage that maybe you normally wouldn't have suffered. Because Nongshim does like to invest just a little bit into those ecos. You know, they're going to grab a shotgun, they're going to grab a bandit, they're going to grab a sheriff.
And this is why you see that Outlaw again in the hands of Baby Bake. Half armors across the board aside from Ivy.
This adds just more value that you're getting out of the chamber on this map. And Trent, well, not too bad. A little bit of armor damage, a little bit of health. Nothing to be too concerned about. Nongshim, again, really prioritizing mid control. I mean, you see the differences in these comps and how they have to be piloted. G2 can bully the extremities, and they know it because they have that Sky. Whereas Nongshim has to be a little bit more diligent with trying to create extra angles, extra opportunities to take those contact fights.
Cover going out.
Really slowed down the round, though.
RB's in a weird position.
He knows he can't scale. He's heard that trademark around the corner.
Exactly.
Not to mention the 2 players watching this angle. Will have to just be a 3-2-1 go, push into market. Try to shut this down and slide in. Somehow Valen doesn't manage to find that shot. Downby sliding right at him. You would have thought he'd be able to connect with that, but the Neon comes out on top. Backpedal away as a sight. Gets taken. Flash over to the corner. RB not quite getting blinded up, but he's still able to find Jogamo. Continues with that player advantage. The res is going to be committed in. Leaf immediately drawing down. Is able to find X-Ross. Hunter's Fear going to be set from Francis, but everyone scatters to the wind. Avoids those bursts of damage. Now have 4 players to try to go for the retake. Some shots exchanged. The flash not quite connecting. Ivy is tucked into the corner. The wall will fall, and Jogamo gets the better of him. Tap to the defuse. Jogamo now finding Francis. It's all down to Dombi, and Baby Bay will be able to pick him to pieces. Double digits found for G2. That's Nongshim struggling on this attack.
Yeah, this is really tough stuff. You know, you get this early kill, And then even you're able to get Jogamo taken down off the slide, but the res, and Leaf plays ahead of it, expecting a peek from a player of Nongshim, and he's able to get the res and protect it. That's so hard to do sometimes as a Sage. He knocks it out of the park, sets them up for that extra advantage, and finally a timeout.
Yeah, first one. They'll look to try to right this ship, but 4 rounds down. It feels like Nongshim not having a great grasp of how to try to pilot things. Just generally on this map. I mean, a lot of the rounds that you're able to find from the defender side just boil down to Ivy going nuclear.
Right. No, I mean, again, it honestly, outside of those rounds, this has been G2 all the way. They have been just a step ahead all throughout Sunset. You can see why they're very comfortable to pick this. I mean, you know, coming into this event, a couple of the maps that you're probably really keying in on are Sunset and Fracture, the ones that a lot of teams tend to avoid. I mean, throughout most of the day today, you're seeing Lotus, Ascent, Haven, Split. We will see Split later. I'm happy about that. Don't get me wrong. The last time these two teams played on Split, it went to overtime, and it was map 3. We can only hope, but that being said, you know, having a pocket pick like a Sunset, like a Fracture, gives you such a huge advantage that maybe if you do have a weaker map like a Breeze or something that your opponents can lean into, you're able to at least force out that decider.
All sent at main here on a timing. 2 weapons into this one for Nongshim.
Nongshim's so keen to get a player tucked up in mid into that top left corner. Again, this time it's Ivy. And sure, it gives you a little bit of info. I mean, you're able to probably identify that that trademark is around the corner in market, but being able to capitalize off of it, they really haven't been able to. I think it's something that G2 is probably going to be pretty aware of, I would suspect, but we'll see. Tag on the drone to the wall there, so Leaf doesn't stick around, but nobody really accelerating.
But with that Trailblazer leading out through B main, this is allowed for Jogamo to start scaling forward, so he's going to have a faster rotation around the back. Granted, yes, Tripwire for the moment still going to be there, but Ivy potentially going to be caught on the timing. No, it's going to be Leaf at the same time, though. Back over towards the site, is gunning down 2. Ivy tucked into this position. Leaf finds a third. He's going to try to play this patiently, but if Trent just looks over to the side, which he now will, he will quickly shut down the enemy Cypher, and that leaves now Downbeat alone in a 1v4. Plant onto the corner, the wall now falling, the flash connecting, and Leaf is there to collect it. A 4K form, an 11th round for G2. Split is looking all but guaranteed.
Another phenomenal round from Leaf. Saw it on the res where he's able to cover it and really set that retake up for success. But here, it's just shutting down the huge push. That's the 4-player push that he's facing there. Yes, he's got some help from Valen, but he gets the 2 kills. And that means that Ivy can't go for plan A, which was to wrap into back alley. He didn't want to go into Link because he expected that that should be able to be cleared by his teammates, or maybe somebody gets flushed into him when they're not ready. But there's discipline here from Leaf and Valen. They don't move a muscle. They don't give Ivy that opportunity until it's too late, until the rest of G2 is already rotated in through top mid. Heroic efforts from tremendous player in Leaf. Really just thwarts Nongshim's plans all across the board. And at Nongshim, they're so nervous about some kind of trap play, some kind of reactive flash or neon stun could be waiting for them, or maybe just a tight angle being held by Baby Bay with that outlaw.
Oh, Jogamo not going to be able to find that timing, but here's that jump from Francis, and he is not going to be ready for this forward position. Even though the tripwire's comparatively shallow. None the wiser, but same could be said about Leaf as Ivy this time. You're able to get that backstab through. The ping reveal, Valen's position now going to be known. Relay bolt going his way, and this is all to keep his eyes trained towards sight, so Ivy can slot in from behind. Comes away with that elimination. The repace forward, tries to take the fight, expecting that Jogamo's going to go past him, but Jogamo plants his feet right up in front. Ivy's unable to clean up Trent fast enough, so now a 3v3. And a very much win round for Nongshim. Pass lane over to the side with Paranoia, going to be out in response from RB to try to slow them up. He finds the first with Trent quickly. Trades that back.
تريت هيم تفتي
2v2 now. An around where Nongshim need to win it and likely even need to commit the res off the back of this just to try to steady the economy. Swing in, Baby has the shutdown onto the first. The defuse not held to half. Exos aware of this. Baby will rip everything out of their grasp, but cannot take the round, cannot take G2 up to 12.
Come back.
He narrowly escapes. And Nongshim hold on by a thread, denying that map point.
But it's Ivy again. This time a little bit pacier with this lurk up through mid, catches Leaf off guard. That allows the neural theft to be invested.
كلنا نجيب العيد مو بس سد حتى انا اشد يا ما شديت. مو طيبه ولا تشيلها ولا تفكر ما صار شيء.
After he clears the first, the second two aren't locked into him. But regardless,
and share your story for a chance to win.
Chance to win what?
Not sure.
Yeah, they didn't.
What did you want? What do you want to win?
A car would be good, I guess.
You
already have a car. What are you're greedy.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, what about second car?
I don't have a car. Can I have your car?
Sure.
Sweet.
Well, for now, similar scenes here from Nongshim, just keeping everybody stacked over onto the A side of the map. Ivy this time, however, exploration up into B main.
Low could be really annoying.
Oh, they're going to go for the push now. The drone going to be coming out, and Jogamo wanted to try to get this punish here, but Dambi decides to cross. Criminal with a stinger is able to find that kill. Making his exit right before he would have had contact on Ivy. Spots him out, and the second shot will be able to take down the enemy Cypher. Coming with the overdrive, trying to push forward, but Trent is instantaneous with the punish. Shuts down 3. And G2 now, one more round to go to push us the distance and take this series over to split.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have so many tools in your back pocket here as G2. Even if you lose on that initial attempt,
بس G2 مكتسحين في بابهم
مرة. Just hold the line again, double up for G2, and they're able to find a huge multi-kill.
Timeout.
The time it was Trent. Nongshim gonna try one more timeout. This one better be a damn good one, because you need 5 in a row just to tie it.
And you're scraping the bottom of the barrel at the moment. You look at the cash here. There's not really much to speak of for Nongshim. Bankrupted by G2.
يا محد لا تستهين.
They've only been able to find the 2
يا ما تيام
rounds
رجعوا
in
صح
this
ولا لا؟
half.
في امل كمباك ولا ما في؟
Why are they just going to be looking at, Stinger Sheriffs? That's about it.
Yeah, it is less than ideal, to say the least.
فتصدق الباي حقهم زق لو عندهم باي بقول يمكن بس ما بدري.
I don't know. You know, there's some individual things they can do. I think maybe some more mid explorations are good, but I think G2's been pretty able to well identify that Nongshim doesn't feel comfortable to hold B. None of their post plants over there have worked, so it kind of has to be A. And so, if that's the case, then you just throw that strong side player over there, try to hold the line, and it's worked pretty damn well. And again, all you have is the paranoia really to clear some of those angles in the relay bolt. You can wait those out or bait those out. Round's pretty much yours.
And Baby's going to be so favored here.
Whoa.
Okay, shot not going to register, but Stinger at that range also not going to be able to find too much damage. He's got 2 sources of healing to put it back up to full. And Jogamo, okay, that's out of timing. Going to be able to find RB. He wants to end this one as Leaf. Johnny on the spot is ready for the punish. Jogamo on the repeat takes down X-Ross. And the wheels have well and truly come off as Jogamo looking for an ace of his own, but Fallon will say, let's speed it up. Let's get into map 3. 13-7 Sunset. It's a dominant display of the
تالي ننكشن G2 صح؟ بنشوف أومن كوبي بيست وبنشوف فايبر كوبي بيست وبنشوف نيون both team. طيب السؤال الآن السؤال هل بنشوف سكند دولست زي ريز وعندك جت أو ويلي حلو من التيمين أتوقع الشخصية الخامسة بتكون مين؟ الانيشيتر. بنشوف فيد من تيم نانكشن، وبنشوف سكاي من تيم جي 2. اوكي؟ لا، يلعبون سكاي جي 2 ما خاب ظني. من جديد هذا جي 2، هذا نانكشن. اوكي؟ بتشوف نيون، بكتب لك اياها زي ما هي. نيون اوكي. فايبر بوث تيم. اوكي، فايبر كلهم الاثنين بيلعبون فايبر. طيب، وبتشوف اومن تمام. سكاي جيكو. اذا ما راح يلعبون سكاي بيلعبون فيد اتوقع، يعني هم بيلعبون تو انيشيتر. هنا بيلعبون ريز مع احساس انه بتكون بدال ريز فينيكس، وفي الاخير بتشوف انيشيتر هم فيد. احتمال يزحفون ياخذون سكاي، بس دم انا اتوقع انه في فينيكس. لكن في حال اذا ما اخذ سكاي، اذا ما اخذ فينيكس اخذ ريز بتشوف سكاي، واذا اخذ فينيكس بتشوف فيد بدون سنتينل. لكن عادي يزحفون ياخذون سنتينل.
Opponent before coming into the tournament. So if any preparation has been done, it has to be for this match.
Yeah, very much so. We got the agent select coming in now. Baby Bay back on that duelist. He's on the waylay. This is not what I expected to see from them. I can see where they're coming from on the side of.
بس قلت لكم تشكيلة نكشن صح علي. صح ولا لا؟
إذا
إذا لعبوا فينيكس بيلعبوا فيد، وهذه التشكيلة توقعتها صح. صراحة هنا توقعت نيون، بس الدنيا انعكست صح. جوجمو يلعب ريلز وبيبي بي يقدر يلعب ويلي، وراحوا سكاي.
But Jogamo was playing on the Neon. Maybe he feels more comfortable in the race, and after the nerf and everything, I think the Jogamo is a brilliant race. So I'm not worried about that.
بس توقعت جوجمو بيلعب نيون ويلعبون تو انيشيتر. بس بيبي بي ما يلعب انيشيتر. ما توفقت هنا. يلا يا عيال، اللي ما صوت يلحق يصوت. يجيكم اعلان.
G2 and Nongshim Red Force 1-1 into our final map number 3. Let's send it on over to Achilles and Paper Thin.
It all comes down to this, a split to decide it between these two teams yet again. Will this map be a repeat of Master Santiago? Will it go to overtime? Will it go Nongshim's way? These are the questions that we are asking that can only be answered by these squads once they get into the lobby itself. Baby Bay back onto that duelist duty with the waylay coming through, a bit more comfortable for him. So expecting to see some hefty impact from him.
Yeah, no, and you need him to kind of come alive. He was one of the ones, along with Jogamo, on those double duelists that struggled against Nongshim on split last time. -4 respectively in the KD column for both of them. Master Santiago. Meanwhile, Domby and Francis were getting the better of them overall. It is a very different setup for both squads in a lot of ways. I mean, we got Xros on the duelist now, Francis over on the fade. So they're going to swap roles. It'll be Ivy on that Viper again. RB maintains the Omen. Balin will not be piling the Astro at this comp. He's going to move over to the Omen. Trent switches off of fade, goes into the Sky. Again, I'm comparing this to the last time these two teams faced off. So yes, it went to OT, but here feels like it just comes down to skill, firepower. One of those things, and there you go.
Jogamo with that sheriff at hand, able to take off RB's head very swiftly as Baby Bay goes diving into the back of sight. No one home though. Nongshim were heavily stacking more towards the A side of the map. Curveball going to be set, but Dambi eating the full brunt of that one. Now we'll try to go for the peak, but Leaf has him dead. Just bangs through the box. X-Raw's gone as well, and that leaves just Ivy and Francis to try to peel back anything they can get in a 2v5, but it feels like G2 going to have a third pistol win in a row from Sunset, now in a split.
شوف جي 2 يخوف في الماب ذا.
America squad very much waking up.
احس سايد جيم صعب بيكون قريب.
On breeze. Swing in Ivy. Good for the one.
انا خايف اقول كلام يطلع غلط لان
Put in the G2 here.
ما هي بعيدة تروح مثلا نتيجة ساحقة الجي 2 ولا هي بعيدة ان نانكشن برضه نفس الشيء.
Sparse fights.
اوكي.
You know, normally you're not
صعب
even
اني
really
احكم
trying
كذا
to take fights in
لكن
some of these
لاني من
positions
زمان ما شفت
necessarily,
سبلت جي 2 وسبلت نانكشن.
You get one tapped off the rip and then you kind of screw up a Phoenix curveball that leaves
لكن جي
Dambi not
2
able to
منظم
scale
اكثر
the
في الماب
space and maybe
من ناحية
get in
التنظيم جي 2
a
اكثر.
little bit quicker and deeper like you'd hope.
فانا ارشح فوز جي 2 اذا بيستمر على التنظيم في الاتاك. احس اتاكه بيكون مهلك مرة.
Not so well rehearsed in some ways, whereas G2 looking
يلا
very,
التصويت
very sharp
قفلنا.
again, finding themselves their third pistol in a row. And it's a couple Spectres, Bulldog, Baby Bay with just
يا
a
رب ننكشن. انا اقول يا رب
just a
ننكشن.
ghost.
ننكشن يبغى له.
So this is a round where
اسلوب
they're very
الكوريين
content to lose two players.
نفسي اكثر يعني انهم خلاص يستون يسوون جامبل كنترول اي كنترول بي يغامر في الديفنس لان الاتاك حقهم كويس ترى ننكشن يكون. بس انا اذا ما انتهت بنتيجه ساحقه في الهاف 8 4 7 5 في امل ننكشن، لكن 9 3 10 2 بيتدمرون نفسيا وجي 2 كويسين مره.
Swing out over the Raptors, curveball forward into the smoke. X-Ross eventually going to be able to find that kill on a Valen. Trying to take it down as well as Nongshim already on for the defuse. Dambi just bouncing back into the throw, completely ignoring these players here in Garage. Baby Bay will be able to find one. Defuse going to be interrupted, but Ivy having a kill leave, having to reload. And Nongshim Red Force right back into it, tie it up 1-1.
Not a fan.
حلو من دامبي.
Take it all back. That looked really well rehearsed. That was some crazy good thought going into that. That curveball from X-Ross, the big opener into the can that was G2's post plant. And then it's just Dambi doing what he does best, running at you. Just a classic. And he's getting the job done. Doesn't matter, seemingly, how much you nerf the agent, you nerf the shotguns. Dambi is still really, really good.
Oh, yeah. G2 now looking to try to replicate some of that magic we just saw. They do have a Vandal and a Sheriff behind this. Saturate going to be connecting on the Dambi, but no real way to try to push off of that one, nor is there anyone behind it. It's an attempt at a bit of a fake here, if not just for a pick. Baby Bay comes away empty-handed. Meanwhile, push up into Mail. X-Raw's going to be able to find the 2 kills here. The Paranoia just far too late from Valen to escort these players in safely. Leaf dead. Vandal can be collected in IV. Okay, does register that, but still is going to be taken down. Valen, full HP now with a shout. Baby Bay disbanded.
I gotta be real
way through vents.
Real careful as Nongshim. Potentially scary, especially with so much time left on the clock. Baby Bay all the way in spawn.
There's a world where this can get away from them. Spot out. X-Ross looking to hold his own, and he shall. Kill found, and it looks like RB with the right read, staring exactly where he needs to, but not quite hitting the shots that he needs to. So this still ends up being very costly for Nongshim, but as the swing comes in, Downbeat will be able to find the kill, gets the weapon upgrade off the Spectre, and Nongshim will establish a 1-round lead.
صح على لساني والله يا رين بقولها.
For Nongshim after
شوف ردة فعل لاعب تدري انه
really
راوند
great
خلص.
hold from X-Ross.
فانت حاول لا تحط عينك هنا تمام.
Just gonna stand there, gets the first cleanly, second to follow up, but that dropped gun in mid causes a whole bunch of problems because they really don't want to fork that over, don't want to give them any opportunities in a post plant to dig in.
جي2 صامل علي.
Good read from
صامل على ذا الوال حق
really able to be
الوال هذا يسوي سبليت للهول
the
يعني.
shots where Baby Bay was.
ممكن يحد يلعب في الانجل ذا او يلعب هنا يأيم.
Nobody home.
وساعدهم في الميد كنترول عرفت ما يحتاج سموك.
Look at Baby Bay's health.
سموك نفسه في السايت.
Trent can get some healing through. Tag to 16, so frankly, is going to be lucky to be alive. Boombot with no scout. This gives them some pause. Zombie, ooh, elbow showing. It's going to be Jogamo, the one to eat some damage, though.
I think Domby's a little lucky that he didn't take a lot more damage there. He gave Jog a pretty good opportunity on that angle, but...
Oh
no.
Look at this. Speaking of opportunity, but no, it's absolutely squandered.
جاب التريد بس كيف ضيعتها يا
yes, and Ivy will be able to find Jaw on the back end. The real fortunate part about that for Nongshim at the end is that Trent can't heal himself back up. He should have had him absolutely dead. Ramp now going to be taken. They haven't firm control here for G2. 40 seconds remaining, can still go for a pivot as well if they want.
Well, they've conceded some of this space over towards top A, and...
Oh, hello.
Leaf in trouble. Oh, gets around the corner, but getting spammed through.
Pushed out a little bit more into the open. Run it back now, going to be popped. X-Ross looking for that moment to strike, and he has been able to find it. Baby Bay going to be taken down. Francis out from alley. Intercepting Trent, putting the spike down on the floor. Tries to go for the wide swing, but there's two players on the opposite side. As Valen will fall and is now down to Leaf. Blazewall does allow for him to recollect this spike. Reads the re-wrap from Ivy. Has the headshot. But Leaf is running out of time. He has to commit to this, and it's going to be in the open. I think he's got it by about 0.05. He'll be able to get that one in play. The way that X-Ross pulls back from that angle, I think he thought that the time was gone, but now he has to try to play this out in a 1v1.
شغلها. لا تشوفون الكاميرا يا عيال حقت اللعيبة عشان ما ركزوا فوق.
This is not going to be easy. Still one curveball in the mix.
But it's going to be X-Ross able to find that third. Spare their blushes. But damn, how close was that? Leaf put him through the ringer, but it's still going to be Nongshim maintaining and now stretching that lead.
Well, we've been talking a lot today about Ivy, but here on Split, it's been X-Ross who's been instrumental for Nongshim. Able to hold the line in a couple different important moments after some mechanical whoopsies. Don't like that wide swing from Francis after he gets that first kill. Ivy just not even considering that Leaf could have peeled back there. I think they thought when they heard that tap that he's already on the other side of that box, going for the default plant, but
نفس الريفيل اللي
not
بيجي
the
في
case
الماركت.
at all. Leaf almost works a miracle. Trent quick clear the haunt. Flash out just to make sure nobody's trying to scale through mid. Seen this a couple times from Nongshim.
هل تتوقعون فيد يسوي لها نرف؟ ركزوا في كلامي ها.
Paranoia.
يخلونها دق واحد.
Not going to be used just yet. Oh boy.
He again on Struggle Street, and Baby Bay on the dive forward will be able to catch him. That's going to be a weapon likely able to be recovered, but X-Ross will be able to shut down Jogamo. Leap now going to be found in mid. X-Ross with the reposition, but Valen with the read. Spams out the Stinger, able to connect. As the smoke will fall, Baby Bay here out in front, but Francis hits the transfer.
Wow.
Barely scraping by with any health. And Valen in that range.
حركات رايت.
The Stinger got in his
إلا
own
أتوقع
right. Still
لأن
not going to be able to find that kill, so will end up falling.
يسوونها صدقني.
As Nongshim continuing to rack up these wins.
Still, again, some individual mistakes that are almost costing Nongshim big time, and G2 able to find some good timings to at least do damage, but they can't convert enough because somebody steps up in the back line of Nongshim. And again, it's what makes this team so fearsome, is you have a lot of really, really talented players behind those duelists. Francis and Ivy, incredible when they're on. There's been a little bit of shakiness here and there, but right there, Francis able to bounce back after a rough previous round. Trent gets lit the heck up. Ivy dead. Look at Leaf. He's all the way over on A.
He's lit up. It's just the decay. So it's C's grabbing him in position. Now right as rain, like you said. Good kill from Leaf as Domby trying to isolate. Reads Valen's reposition, but can't do anything about it. And even if he had, Leaf would have been right there. Get that trade back into their favor. Flash sent. Side plant now. Cover going for safety. Smoke on a main, but Valen still able to play in front of that one. X-Ross strafing forward. Leaf looking for the immediate challenge. Molly just going to be lobbed into the corner. That can be avoided. It's all a quick consideration on that pit, but it looks like Leaf just going to be opting to try to hold that one for now. As yes, they will be able to overwhelm them and whittle this down to just Francis remaining. Swing out. Francis good for one, but nothing more. G2 now able to rally back. Get themselves a second round win.
Yeah, this is
يزيدون الرينج. ايوه
great work
يمستقوا
again by
نفسها.
Leaf. Just has some great reads at times. I mean, I was so impressed with his Sage play on Sunset here on the Viper. Gets that opening kill and then immediately starts scaling forward and just goes, guys, it's open. They're not going to be able to get here in time. We have a huge advantage. And the best part about that, you have to invest one of the alts.
شخصيات يبغى لها
held on to that pit, so he's going to have it available
يعني
potentially for this round.
سيئة
They
جدا
can get there.
مظلومة
Just
من
use
ناحية
those seekers to really
انها ضعيفة
confirm.
وما هي مفيدة يعني مع انه يورو مفيد
okay.
بس مظلوم.
Break up that, the conversion path's going to be sent. Ivy to be caught, trying to tuck back behind this box, and Baby Bay eventually will find him.
يورو ذلك
Dead,
سيء
but fast on their
هنا
heels
كلوب
is all of Nongshim. This is all 4 players. Corral around in the
Useless
garage
agent.
as the pit goes out towards Alley. Baby Bay going to be taking that first contact as RP will be able to take him down. Xroth with the ult in play, wins the fight versus Valen. Nongshim now get ready to storm their way forward onto the site, and Trenton Alley is going to be caught. Leap now zoned a world away. Having to rescale, but the Seas will connect. The Spam able to find him. Downby shuts it down, drops the pit. The Xroth will drop Jogamo. Nongshim now up 5-2.
شغالين
Similar scenes.
والله قاعدين يكسرون الكلام اللي انا قلته ان جيتو منظمين بس ضايعين صايرين.
They allow for their opponents to take that one step forward and then they
مرة
shove them back by
عشان كذا قاعد
3.
اقول لك لا تشوفه.
Well, this is just an unbelievably explosive retake. Ivy just in an awful position, but that's a huge win there off the rip of his ult from Xroth. The fact that he's able to get that opening duel allows him to keep creating space, and all of a sudden, that pit that should be a safety net for you becomes a prison, and they just get absolutely bullied out of it. That was electric coordination.
Presence confirmed here in the mid. Valen able to
هذا
backpedal.
فائدة الوال. اسلوب ذا الوال عشان يقدرون يقدمون زون باب فلاش زي
Now
كذا.
Nongshim quickly
عرفوا انه
making
في
the
اثنين
call to try to pivot across
ثلاثة
towards this A
هم مسلمين
site.
الاي ريتيك.
Flash confirms that no one's home. Pain shell up to heaven as
مسلمين
well.
الاي ريتيك نكشن. يقدر يجيك
G2 able to get
الفايبر
themselves into
من
fairly
السي تي
entrenched
يقلت هنا
positions.
ويجي دامبي يقلت من هنا.
And they hold it with the weaker
وفينيكس
buy.
يحطوا عليه.
Jogamo going to be forced having to drop back, but Sun is out of both of these players. Jogamo comes out on top. Leaf is found too. Baby Bay gets one as well.
وات ذا فك كيف انقلبت؟
And now suddenly in the blink of an eye, it is just Ivy. Finds the first, but needs so much more.
عشان يلعب مثل بيركسي صح؟
Very clear into heaven, and
أنا مع
he
مين؟
will just
أنا
abandon the hope of a clutch. Will back away, and G2 will find a massive, monstrous round win to get up to 3.
Yeah, they're able to just punch right back. I mean, this time, Nongshim tries to go for a more spread retake, trying to clear some space over at the bottom of the ramp, and Leaf is tucked in, having none of it.
والله المجموعة
He
دي
got 2 kills there, and it's just a great coordination with the utility. The flash was in there, the saturate, everything you needed from G2 was perfectly placed.
ايه شوف داركنس.
That's
It's absolutely lights out.
all 3 players carrying weapons in.
يا اخي دامبي زق
Hustle
فيها.
from the blast
مو
pack,
معضول.
doing wonders for Jogamo to win out that fight, to stay alive.
You got to be, I think, a little bit more thoughtful on those retakes on A if you're Nongshim, but G2 just give them enough time. So quick. Get into those well-disciplined post plants where they know what they need to do. Their protocols, you know, are going to be very well drilled. Francis goes for the C's there. Does catch on to Baby Bay, but no punish available.
Hey, not running a raise. Molly's already been expended. Some pot shots attempted through this Viper wall in mid, but otherwise nothing to be found. No one taking a lick of damage on either side.
See how hungry Nongshim is to try to put the pressure onto G2.
اللي يبغون بك في المد
G2 gonna match. Actually overstack here. Francis has to start backpedaling.
Baby Bay can push this issue because he has that refract available, but now we'll just let that one expire. G2 gets a very aggressive push up in towards this B heaven. Once again, so much util, so many bullets expended from both sides, and no one has taken any damage. Just painting pictures around each other, and finally we'll have our first little bit there as Francis. Let's just end up eating 1 bullet. Meanwhile, the spike's starting to get ushered up into A main.
Dog's already down to his last clip.
DP check, but Jogamo with a backstab, just continuing to scale. Intercepts X-Ross, finds that elimination. Dambi here, though, they're trying to hold this line, has the overdrive, and the time has gone away from them. This has just been such a heavy investment. As maybe they up and over the top. Eventually, he's going to be able to find Dambi. The play now going to be coming through as Jogamo finds Ivy, and they can stick this. Very much limit testing here, RG2, but they're getting away with it as RB finding Jogamo, able to win out that fight. But now he's got to do it all. Swing out of the smoke! And that is unbelievable!
كيف؟
RB has had such a quiet performance this whole series through! But what a time to come alive!
واو يا ربي واو. يا اخي لموني ذا التيم قديش
transfers today from
سعد
Nongshim.
لي التيم يا
Saw from
شيخ.
Ivy earlier this
لا
time.
تصدق كذا.
It's RB's
يا ربي
turn.
لا.
I thought this was curtains. I mean, you get the backstab, you get the sight, you get the clear. You get the
Phantom
pin
moment
out of Ivy,
حبيبي.
you take him down.
Phantom
This looked
moment.
like it could be a backbreaker for
يسعد لي.
Nongshim. A complete change of momentum, but RB
يسعد لي
is one of his best. And we've seen a lot of good ones from him over the years.
Absolutely insane. That's one of those ones that, if you're G2 again, you're going to be kicking yourself so much over. More so than Ivy's clutches on Sunset. Can they recover from here? Nongshim now up to 6. The entry again. Attempted from Baby Bay, has to take the refract out instantly. RB just ushered forward by the pain shell. Otherwise, no worse for wear.
I love here for RB that he's like, I'm going to make sure that I have the paranoia in hand on this B execute this time. Because last time I got caught trying to swap and Baby Bay did me in. This time he plays it much more disciplined.
فدنا شبه الأمم في المنطقة.
Clear that dog, but G2 is just sending that more to keep attention onto that side and to see if they can get an isolated fight. X-Ross is going to slide over. Ooh, that got dangerous.
Yeah, it really did, but RB's still going to be good for one. Looks for a little bit more, cannot find it. It looks like, again, that buy from G2 might just be bearing fruit.
دامبي لازم يروح مع التاب.
Weapons now going to be recovered. The heels pushed out. Jogamo back up towards full, but now taken down. Ivy from on high, able to find that kill. Let's slide in. And Dambi will get it done. Barrel stuck for the
الشغل
transfer.
الأصلي يعجبني أنا هذا الشغل الأصلي. السايد كذا تسلعهم يا حبيبي. فانتوم مومنت حبيبي. نكشن فانتوم مومنت.
Yeah, God, again, another frustrating one. It looked like G2 might have been able to shrug off.
RB ما قصر هلد أم البي وتعبهم.
From RB, a really well-coordinated execute. Good crossfires available, but this time it's Dambi. Slides in, gets the 2K. Tread's trying to figure out where the hell he went. Can't lock on in time.
Just back-to-back rounds like that.
تايمات 7-3 معهم راوندين
A little less egregious compared to the previous.
7-5-8-4.
You absolutely need to call this
يحتاجون
timeout
راوند
now.
جي 2 مرة. معهم ريز ألت، معهم سكاي ألت. بيبي بي يبغى أورب عشان يألت. الراوند هذا حرفيا هو محتوى الهاف كله.
I mean, at the very least,
الراوند الجاي فالتايمات في محله فعلا. أتوقع ما خاب ظني جي 2 إذا بيكمل على الأوب بنشوف حنا على حسب عموما يبغون أورب. أوكي بيلعبون مد برشة خفيف مع البي قد ما يقدرون وبيخلون ليف يلرك اي. اوكي يبغون الاورب او بك البي بي بي. فاللعب اما خاب ظني بيكون سموك مد، واحد يهلد هنا، ثلاثة يلعبون مد، واحد يلعب هنا بالاي. اللي بيمسك بي ممكن اومن، وبيلعبون التو دولست مع سكاي في المد في الغالب. اي وبيجيك سموك هنا بيحاول يأيم الاوب هنا بعد نزلة الوال. بالضبط. يبغون بك الويلي بعدين بيستعملون الالت. او يروح ياخذ الاورب، بس في الغالب صعب الجراج متعب. الاورب اللي في ذا يجيك سبام تموت. يبغون صبر. اتوقع بينفجرون في اخر 30-40 ثانيه. سكاي بيألت وريز بيألت وبيروحون يا فنت يا بي. بس اذا ما مات ليف بيروحون للفنت. اذا مات بيكون الالت على البي.
There we go.
There it is.
اللي في يبدا يتحرك الحين بيلحق الالت هذا. بيرجعون مرجع واغبياء. ارجع والله راح. لا معك سبوت.
Completely saturated up. Baby Bay is dropping off the box to his demise. Francis, however, will fall as Jogamo looks to spare their blushes. Now be left in a 1v3. G2 should have this one wrapped up.
Would think this would be even more heartbreaking.
If it could happen 3 times in a row, yeah, I think that you'd just be mentally checked out. But G2 will be able to stabilize. 3 players surviving will be key.
طبيعي الوطنية حبيبي.
To carry over these weapons.
الأخضر ثابت ما يتغير.
Make this a 7-5 half.
Did have to invest a lot of ults here.
لا.
I mean, I think that's exactly why Josh RT wanted to call that timeout to make sure that this is a guaranteed round.
Yeah.
Knew how important it was. Knew what they had in their investment. Wanted to get the most out of the portfolio. But it's going to be a lot of stingers here for Nongshim. So on top of getting that round, you also find Nongshim with no economy to speak of. Xros the only one with a rifle. Does have his ult as well. So run it back.
بس نونكشن ده راوند ما راح بيلعب نفس الاسلوب. اتوقع نونكشن
G2
بيبش فلانك A.
very much worried that maybe there might be
بيسلم بي.
a set idea.
اتوقع نونكشن الحين بعد نزلت ولا ويوتل يبغون يذبحون القن. يبغون القن اللي مع الفايبر.
Nongshim going to keep it close to the vest. They too, with just those stingers, want to tuck in and try to find those close quarters fights.
High-low setup at ramp, but will be abandoned.
ما سووا اللي في بالي. مفروض يفايتون الليف. ليف مفروض يفايتونه.
Scaling in that direction, but Xros with that phantom, able to find Jogamo. There's a big punish as Leaf as well.
ليف مات.
This quad going on a walkabout. Valen now trying to TP in the back of sight, but here's RB, shuts that down. The up and over, the plan to the feet, the flash is going to be good, and Baby Bay will be able to find it. Run it back immediately eliminated. Trent snapping Xros back. Is the Molly going to be invested, disrupting the plant for now.
اصبر
behind the box. The spike
winnable
now in play. A player advantage here for Nongshim.
3 رايفل
Another
اقصد.
gun recovered, now passed over into the hands of Dambi.
winnable. الفيت يرسل الريفيل.
Just need Francis to maintain heaven control.
الان المفروض يغفل الحين. غفل انكسر وذول يسوون كونتاكت في الجراج. شوفوا شالوا هم هيفن. هم الحين شايلين هم هيفن مره.
Trying to get to a safer spot. It's going to be good for the one, but Ivy now with a third. The swarm out, Baby. He's looking for that.
اكثر ريتيك بيرفكت سووه. انه رفل وعلى بشات ذولا، فاللي يمسك هنا يخاف ما عاد يقدر يلعب الا ورا او يطيح هنا في الاوبن. بعدين الفيد ياخر نفسه. يبشون تيمه يبش الفيد حتى لو ما تيجي التريد. لو الفيد بش بدري او هم بشوا بدري خرب كل شيء.
يلا
خذ اعلان الهاف.
And believing that G2 should have a few more rounds, just like on Sunset.
They took the pistol, but then they dropped that anti-eco,
right?
And it really starts to unravel from there.
I mean, the fact that you get 4 almost feels good in some ways and bad in others is G2 because yeah, like you're talking about, you lose that eco, you lose a couple of those clutches, but despite all that, you're still very much in this map. And you would think that, you know, G2 should be pretty damn solid on their defender's side. But you never know. Nongshim, that's a team that if their executes are on point, if their coordination is on point, sometimes if you don't have the perfect answers, it can be really tough. Now, I do like a few of the moments I saw with the Waylay and the Sky to really slow down some of those retakes. So you're going to need a lot more of that here on this defender side as G2.
This is one of those moments where a team that normally is so very unflappable that is able to recover starts to have those doubts. You've been in this position before. Granted, you know, a very tense moment, an opportunity to qualify into a grand final. The last time they played against Nongshim Red Force, but you got to this split and it got away from you. Having those thoughts seep back in, it could absolutely be their undoing.
The what ifs. Absolutely.
Be too faithful, going to be looking and hoping, praying that they can get this pistol to open up their attacker side.
Well, and considering how well it's gone for America's, yeah, I know what you mean. But how well so far EWC has gone for America's against Pacific. I mean, You don't want to be the one left out of the party.
No, for sure. All needs to start from here. See if they can get right back into this. Another pistol, not dropping the anti-eco. G2 will be off to the races. Exactly what the G2 fans want to be seeing. Shanks, if you haven't taken the jersey off yet, you better do so.
Yeah, just...
They need everything they can get.
Burn that thing, bro. Nongshim is just going to sneak underneath their noses here. I mean, they have a good read there, but the saturate.
Zombie still going to be going for the slide. Trying to get that point-blank shot, but will get pushed over. Meanwhile, Jogamo able to find X-Raw, so 2 for 2. Izadel looks to settle, but Jogamo's looking for a little bit more, and he absolutely oversteps.
That's tough. Oh,
damage suffered as well as Valen. Down to 15.
With a bandit.
But he's got to do everything, it feels like. Maybe if he causes enough of a distraction, kills a couple players. Valen could collect something, but Leaf, gun barrel, maybe not being registered there by Francis, but he'll just peek in, finds Valen, and it's instantaneous with the right click. The hopes start to fade even further as Nongshim get themselves their first pistol here on split, move up 9-4.
I'm already feeling a buy up here for G2. Sure. I think this is a great spot to grab some of those stingers and do what G2 does best. Put those to good use and catch your opponent maybe a little off guard. If they're not anticipating it, I guess they're not going to go for it. I would have loved to have seen it here.
From the defender side, it's always all the more risky. But I'm right there with you. I think that a curveball like that might just be enough to try to catch Nongshim off guard. Up to go for the safer route.
Already Nongshim, it's a pretty good read on what's going on the map. I mean, even though Ivy might drop this Marshall, but his whole plan here is to just look for a little contact.
Okay, well, Ivy not going to be able to steady that hip fire, so Jogamo, it's a weapon back, and with their teammate falling, all of Nongshim are going to look to cluster on this side of the map. G2, though, want to try to re-explore mid, so they will be backpedaling a bit, but they are still very clustered on A.
Timing of this. I thought for a second G2 was just going to hold the line on A, and Nongshim was going to walk into the beehive, but going to get stung just yet. Over towards A.
Empty side, the players now splitting, looking to re-clear through garage and B. The bad news about to be registered. Meanwhile, RB setting up a smoke, keeping eyes trained here towards the sewers position. The swing out, and he will be able to mow them both down. Leaf and Baby Bay now eliminated. I believe one of the bandits as well going to be lost. Valen with a slow walk forward. Domby just jiggling on the corner, gets the spot. Takes the fight, wins it. Jogamo, how quick, how accurate can he be with this Marshall? Needs to be clean. No, the bandit instead. Will be able to take him down, but both have suffered damage. The time is starting to get away from them. This is really just a matter of can they find anything else. Jogamo needing to try to find something, but it's going to be RB with a 4K. This map is his. 10-4. Double digits now hit. Nongshim 3 rounds away from winning their opening series here at EWC.
I get a bit worried in the middle of this round for Nongshim, where off of losing Ivy, they might make the wrong read, but they actually take just long enough to pivot over to the A side that G2 instead thinks that they're going B for sure. Turns out to not be the case, but RB there lucky to not take more damage. Only
خذ البستل واللي بعده.
in that 2K, even though it looked a little
الحين مع الأحمر علشان لا تقول أخضر، أوكي؟
maybe off to the races.
صار يفشل G2.
trying to deny.
لا جي 2 مو
thought about the
فاشلين،
paranoia.
امريكا
They're just
كلهم
gonna use the
فاشلين
prowler, and
ولا مو جي 2
Nongshim
ريجن فاشل.
didn't get the look that they liked.
انرجي له
Ivy's
كويس
gonna
بس
be
فيه
identified.
صراحة
Baby Bay.
صراحة يعني
Able to get
اوكي
out of there.
تبي الحق
Saturated
اتكلم
in.
بدون بس اني ما ارفع ضغط اللي
We'll still be
يتابعوني.
able to find one.
امريكا السنة دي احسن من السنة
Meanwhile,
اللي
lead back over to
راحت،
mid.
حتى لو السنة
Able to
راحت
bring it
ماخذها انرجي. السنة دي على الاقل شفنا ليفايتن قدم مستوى اخذ ماسترز، هذا شيء كويس، وانرجي اوريدي يقدم مستوى فنان، ففي فريقين كويسين احسن من العام. العام كان فريق واحد انرجي وقبلها زيرو. فهمت؟ عموما السنة دي افضل، يعني اقدر اقول امريكا احسن من الصين. مرة دا يتنافس مرة دا يتنافس، بس شوف ختامها مسك الشامبيون ايش بيصير والاي دبليو سي ايش بيصير. لكن اوفرول باسيفيك كويس. باسيفيك ما هو ثابت، يجيك تيم يطغي، يجيك تيم ثاني يطغي، يجيك ذا، فهمت؟
But hasn't quite gotten that spot out yet. Now will do so. Paranoia going to be sent, but only connects onto the enemy element. Meanwhile, Joggermo going to try to fast swing around this flank, but RB is already giving it some credence. He situates another smoke, but now turns off the angle. Fallon going to be able to find the one. Joggermo now backstabbing, cleans up the enemy element.
RB there tried to sell a fake rotate. Little did he know.
It's all down to Francis here. Swing in. Whoa. Francis just locks on. He's managed to isolate this down. A haunt available again here in a second. Swing out. And Trent from the Raptor will be able to win this round. But good Lord.
كان يمديك تقروش
What a
اكثر.
conversion attempt here from
انقلب حلو بس.
It's so very close, but it will be G2 persevering for another round.
Yeah, this is a very tricky round to navigate for G2, and they do a pretty good job of it overall. Nongshim's trying to throw a lot of unusual ideas, and you have some,
لا أبو محمد.
I guess I'll call them
الفايز
unfortunate moments
بيقابل
where Ivy's able to get the kill onto the Baby Bay after being saturated. That right there, freaking nasty.
إيه بنشوف المباراة طبعا.
With a steady pair of hands to make sure that no more damage is done.
إن شاء الله نشوفها عندي في السيرفر. الله يحييكم جميعا يا عيال.
A lot of those early kills for Nongshim went into RB's hands, so you don't have that run it back yet. You don't have
وكل
one of those
المباريات
bigger
أصلاً
ults
اللي
that
في
could be a
الغالب.
real problem, whereas you have a showstopper with a weaker buy, so you've got a real chance as G2 to all of a sudden start gaining some momentum, start turning the tables onto Nongshim, see if they can get it to go. We'll get some confirmation on that Prowler, and that means Nongshim, especially with that Boombot there, no way you're going into mid now.
Yeah, Saturate can be held as well. No contact off the Boombot, so
ما راح تكون وقت فعالية وادو. فعالية وادو متى بدت؟
Honestly, I
8 وادو.
Yeah, I'd love to see him run at A here.
Yeah, it's just going to be an exact and RB likely to TP into the back of sight.
ممتاز 8.5 حلو.
Okay, but no, a bit of a pump fake as they're going to rescale into mid.
They didn't like the reaction.
لا والله ما اتوقع، لاني بروح اتعشى مع اهلي وبتفرج المباراة. يمكن اجي على النهاية اذا ما خلصوا الفعالية. لكن بنسوي له ريد، ذكروني طيب. وادو مسوي فعالية في فالورانت كاستم يا عيال. بعد البث بتشوفونه في بثه هو، وانا بسوي له ريد اصلا في سيرفر الديسكورد مسويه. الله يعطيه العافية.
All the more pressure on that showstopper to be able to deliver as Trent comes away with a second, gets it back into a 3v3, and suddenly G2 stocks looking a hell of a lot healthier.
Immortal 198 أغار. يعني Immortal قد وصلت أعلى يوم كان Immortal 1. تذكرون؟ ما تذكرون. يوم كان Immortal رانك 1. وما كان في Immortal 1 و 2 3. كان تصنيفي عالي في الليدر بورد، بس كنت 2000 على الليدر بورد. صادق زمو.
It took a while to get there, but eventually Nongshim's able to find that A execute that they were fishing for towards the beginning part of the round. Ivy again really clean, but then Trent answers back, and you think there's hope, but there's that extra layer on the backside. The showstopper from Jog can't find success, even though he's got an opportunity. Xros gives him the chance. Xros challenges him. Still can't quite get it done. Now, another timeout has to be taken.
يعطيك العافية بريل.
On the
بريل يلا حيها وين الناس؟ Let's go ننكشن. إيه دامبي.
KO punch, seemingly in the windup for Nongshim. I don't know. It just seems like there's some good ideas from G2, but when it comes down to some of these late round micro executions, that's where they're going to be. Like the individual kind of
منطقية.
step up
ننكشن لعبة
moments.
حلو بس اللي مخلي
Nongshim's
ننكشن
way more often than
تحس انه
not.
طاغي سوء لعب G2. يعني G2 ما تحس انه قاعد ينافس في ذا الماب. ما هو قاعد خيارات تحس انه محدود في الخيارات، تحس انه ما قاعد يلعبون كتيم. عرفت؟ محدودين، عشوائية. البوست فريتيك G2 وبعرفين يخربون البوست حقهم.
G2 obviously winning the thrifty be amazing, but if you could get the
يعني أنا
nightfall
مثلا
out here, or if you could get the run it back out from Exros, that's kind of a win too, because if they could keep both of those ults going into the decider,
مو غلط بس
match point
ما
round,
هو
that sucks.
وجود ويلي هنا لأنهم متجاوشين من البي مرة. أنا أحس ويلي لو إنه يكون مثلا ميل أو يلعب هنا أفضل، أو يلعب في الأي سايت الفايبر ويكون واحد هنا. سلمين برضه.
I'm not the type to beat around the bush.
صبورين. بس اوفرول ما لها دخل التكتيك حق اللعب حقهم قد ما انهم يخسرون الدول. ننكشن افضل بالجن فايت، بالدول فايت، بالتيم فايت. عرفت؟ باليوتيلتي اوفرول. هذا اللي مفوز ننكشن ترى، لان اللعب كله هم في الاتاك نفس اتاكم، اللعب ديفولت. بعدين هذا بيك اوكي دامبي مجنون، بس هذا بيك مره وايد شوي الجنب، طلع كل أمن في الجنب بيك، فهمت؟ والله ما لحقت اشوف الا كم راوند في المنتخب، بس ان شاء الله في كاس العالم في فالورنت بنتابعه. الله يوفقنا يا رب.
bail them out and deny this match point from going into Nongshim's hands.
The full kit to work with. Time, there's an opportunity.
They are just scattered to the winds. Easy to isolate, but hard to read where they're going to be coming from. First fight, first challenge will be RB. Now noting them saturate. Gonna be chucked in. It's a quick exit, backpedaling over towards the sewer. Baby able to find the one, but that costs him life. That costs him time. He just doesn't have enough of it. Tries to find the exits. Refract around the corner. Nothing more to be done. Has the money for the buy. So will just go down. Could have just held on to it.
العنود؟ اي يعني كم العنود كم لك مود؟ شهر.
12th round found for Nongshim.
شهر. تعتبر جديدة وإدارية عندنا في الديسكورد برضه. في الديسكورد شفت الديسكورد حقنا الجديد؟ كوميونتي، حولنا كوميونتي وكلانات وشغل وفعاليات. والعنود أصلا فاتح كلان للبنات، إذا في بنات في البيت يبغون كلام محفوف للبنات فقط ويلعبون، هي فاتحة ومقدمة، تقدرون تقدمون على كلام بالسيرفر.
Oh, that's a seize.
يمكن 6 كلانات الآن. الشباب يقدرون يفتحون كلانات كثير. الأعضاء يعني اللي يستوفي الشروط. فالله يوفقكم جميعا.
That conversion pass now out of the equation.
Oh, but that's kind of a weird angle to have that flash hit you. They're not going to be ready for him to be underneath.
Exros now storming his way forward with that ult. Paint Shell will be able to snap him back. The exec denied. Meanwhile, Ivy all the way forward. Trent will be able to win out the fight. Tag down to 5. Still alive, still fighting here for G2.
Unbelievable awareness.
والله شوف يا ليف، إذا ما جبت الراوند ده سلم لي على الجيم.
Heads up play.
Meanwhile, Leaf ready to intercept his footsteps going to be heard.
يا قناة الذيب ولا
Not sure if there's going to be a second layer on the approach from Sewers, but he's going to play this patiently. He is going to look to single-handedly bring this round to an end. Strikes out as Exros will fall. RB to just tuck into the corner. The spike, however, in his hands, needs to be rerouted. Goes for the elbow side plant. Seekers now. The play spoiler to reveal their locations. The tuck back, the paranoia to fly. Jogmo fully blinded up. Leaf, however, has his vision and has RB in his sights. G2. Able to win out another round, getting up to 6, but 6 is how many more they will need if they want to push this into overtime, like they did at Master Santiago.
For sure, going all the way over to get the op. Gonna make sure that they have enough time to shoot that back up for Baby Bay, the only gun that was even dropped in this round.
الله يحييك يا بريد.
Okay, I mean, I
اسأل أبو
think
خالد
you can get a
يعني.
couple more here as G2. The alt cycle gonna be in your favor. You're getting close to another showstopper. You've already got a convergent paths. There's a chance here. You can set.
جوج ما أذكر أحسن أيام.
Get a few more. And
ما
then
كان معدي
get a
من
reset.
هذاك الروستر كان استثنائي. مرة في العمر، مرة في البطولة. والله نحمد الله بصحة وعافية، الله يعافيك ويسلم. حالك طيبة؟ كيف أمورك؟ كيف دنياك؟ إن شاء الله كل شيء طيب.
A lot of big contact fights won. A good trade at least when Baby Bay went down by Valen.
عودة
They were able to
حميدة.
hold the line and take Dombi down.
بيلت مد.
And then this time you have the pin available.
ومن for
Oh my
fast
God.
They also have an overtime and a very fast attempt at this hit from Nongshim, but they're going to be rerouted.
يخربون على لانكشن. طبعا نتكلم الحين بعيدا عن من نبغى يفوز.
But that overdrive
الباي حق نانكشن
expiring.
لو فاز بالراوند. حلو. فنانكشن بيدخل في سيف
Actually pretty
نكست
painful for
يفوزونه فيلعبون على
Nongshim. I think
12
again a little
8
bit too eager to
يبدون
use
لما
these
يجي راوند
powerful
جوهم
ults early in the
بلتية.
rounds.
مع
They
ترنت.
don't really
لازم
find enough
ينزلون
value.
يحسبون حساب كل الت ولا يخسرون.
Nambi again continuing to try to sprint forward. The paranoia to try to hold them at bay, but no. Valen gonna be caught, but Jogamo and Leaf one apiece to get back into an advantageous position as Leaf finds a second, but Ivy will be able to take him down. Jogamo, oh, it ends up being rough, but Ivy able to find him with that Molly on the floor. Immediately brings this now into a 1v1. Drop down, the drift across, the spike is still the opposite side of the pillar.
So uncomfortable for Ivy.
تكفى إذا
No
تكفى
idea.
إذا
He
اللي
has no
تسوتها
idea where
تكفى
Baby
اللي
Bay is.
تكفى قلت.
But he has the pit.
Sends this one immediately. Drifts out of it. Hit by that saturate.
Oh!
The classic shots not connecting the tap of the plant. Baby Bay. Wrapping back through. Trying to commit for it.
واو كيف الله سلم له.
On for another clutch.
هاي يسعد لي ام الكلتش يا رجل.
Over G2.
بيبي ون. طبعا جي 2 ما طلع برا البطولة ينزل للإليميشن راوند.
I mean, I guess
عنده
it's
فرصة
fitting in
ضد
a way
XLG.
that it ends like that for Nongshim because
خلينا نوريكم
that was
الجدول
kind of the
نسلم
story of
التصويت.
that split.
EDG RRQ BBL 100 تيف